Everything looks fine. But as per usual, I'm not going to be able to tell if people can hear me until people talk to me. You can see me though, right? The wife is in another room. Okay, cool. I can be seen. They're going to tell me if they can hear me.
No, I can hear you before I muted.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. Because God knows, I just had one time where the audio was weird, and now I'm going to be paranoid for the rest of my life. Hello. Hey, everybody. There are just a couple of very basic questions that people had sent in. The last time I tried to do this stream, when I made all the lights in the house go out. Okay, no, that's not fair. Half the house. I shorted out half the house. It was a good time. But there are just a couple of questions that I was going to answer real quick while we wait for people to, trickle in, get the notification that, like, something's happening on this channel. Because nothing's been happening for the past couple of weeks because I've been on vacation. This is so funny to see so many familiar names. I don't know why, but it just kind of gets me every time. I can hear you laughing.
Well, I'm sorry, you're funny.
I don't know why she thinks I'm funny. So let's see. While we wait for people to chip in. They're in a couple of different places, so pardon the clicking around. Hilariously, somebody asked about an update on the wife in Untamed. Like, has she made it through the flashback yet? What was she doing? Where she was in her watching, and she's finished it, and that's funny. She's gonna join me in, like, I guess you could call it probably the second half of this stream. Is she's gonna join me on camera, and we're gonna get that figured out, and then we're gonna talk about the Untamed. I mean, obviously she and I have already talked about it, like when she first finished it. But we're going to talk about it even more, and you guys can ask her whatever you feel like asking her. Because she finished it, and she has feelings, because I don't think you can finish the Untamed and not have feelings. So, funnily enough, you will be getting all of the updates on The Wife and the Untamed here in just a little bit. Somebody has asked about if I was going to watch Heaven's Official Blessing, like, the animated, the Donghua, in the future. And, like, I guess sooner rather than later, if we're not going to get the live action version this year, which I'm going to talk about in a second when I start with the most anticipated, because 4 of them are Chinese and they come with an asterisk, unfortunately. But I mean, I guess it's going to get moved up, the Heaven's Official Blessing Donghua, for unfortunate reasons. However, Silver Lining would be getting to watch the Donghua early. Somebody asked what non-canon ship would I like to actually be canon the most, and I feel like the obvious answer is Spurk from Star Trek. But also, I have very, very strong creative feelings. Like, if they had made Arthur and Merlin canon, it would have actually improved an already fantastic story. And I will die on that hill. I can feel the wife in the other room having opinions, but they're wrong. We talked about this. We talked about this recently, in fact, and we had differing opinions, and yours were wrong. Somebody asked about the Devil Judge, and Devil Judge is going to be an After Dark thing on Patreon. And how After Dark works, if you're not a patron, is that I will post randomly full reactions for patrons and kind of like work my way through a series when it's like the middle of the night and I feel like watching something. But then once the whole series is posted, I make the master post public so that anybody can see it. And Devil Judge is very, very high on the list. I think I still have to finish Cowboy Bebop. And then after that, Manner of Death jumped the queue for reasons that I will yell about when I get to Manner of Death. And then I think after that is Devil Judge. No, after that is that other thing that was part of the Mega Fandom that I'm blanking on that you guys are probably yelling at me about the title. Oh, I can't remember it though. There was something else that comes before Devil Judge because I was saving Devil Judge for last because it looks potentially like it's going to be my favorite. And did I miss anything over here in patron questions? Somebody over on YouTube asked if I had seen Arcane. The answer is yes, and it now owns my entire life. The Arcane is simply one of the best things I've ever seen, and then they added, canon sapphic feelings on top of it, and fine, okay, I guess I'll worship you until the end of time. And the wife feels the same way, and actually when season 2 of Arcane finally rolls around, that'll be one of the times where the wife actually joins me for the reaction series. She might be off camera, who knows, but she will be present while I film those reactions because she and I love the Arcane so much, and so I can't watch it without her. And that's basically the solution, is that then she has to be in the reaction. But if you haven't seen Arcane yet, I don't know what to tell you other than prepare yourself and also go now. I don't care by which means you use to watch the show. It's on Netflix, but however it gets to your eyeballs is fine with me. It's that good. I really don't care about the means. Somebody also asked, funnily enough, if I had seen Good Omens. And of course, yes, I exploded when they announced that there was going to be, they say season 2, I basically call it a sequel since the first season covered the entire first book. And that's going to be another one where the wife joins me for the reaction whenever that happens, because we are both very intense fans of Good Omens and everybody involved in Good Omens. And that can't go on the most anticipated for 2022 because we're probably going to get it early 2023. But that is the only reason why Good Omens Season 2 is not on the list. Because otherwise it would be very near, if not automatically at the top. Good Omens Season 2. And let me see if there was, I think that was it for questions. And now we've had a little bit for everybody to get in here. So we're going, oh, there was this this question that asked if I had seen any BL series from Thailand. And of course the answer now is yes, I've seen a bunch actually. A weird hobby I have is skimming through all of the particularly cheesy rom-com contemporary ones. Because I usually wind up giving those series, out of my personal taste, a 2 out of 5 stars if you're going to have a rating system. And yet I do genuinely enjoy skimming through those shows to get to the good stuff. So I really don't know where to put my feelings. But yes, I've seen a lot of Thai BLs at this point. And I'm actually very, very excited about where Thailand seems to be going with their BL series, because in 2021 and also I think late 2020, they had started to kind of branch out genre-wise and starting to take things just a little bit more seriously. So it's now you have things that are still tropey and, ridiculous and fun, but in just such a way that it makes it even more enjoyable for me. And we all know how I feel about genre queerness. That's all I want in life is genre queerness. And so I'm super excited about where Thailand is going. And that's probably why there's 2 on this most anticipated list. But I have, the list of things that I'm generally looking forward to is obviously much longer. And there's a lot of Thailand on there, if I remember correctly. Speaking of most anticipated, hello, welcome to the stream. This is most anticipated gay things of 2022, and how it's going to work is I have my little list that I am going to go through each title and give a little, brief explanation as to why I am looking forward to it so much, and a little blurb about, what it's about and the genre and the country it comes from and all that jazz. And then once I get done with my list, I will let you guys see my screen in the bottom corner, and I'll have the list up in like nice big font so that you guys can see it and take down whatever titles sounded interesting to you. So don't worry as I go through them and you're losing track or whatever, you're trying to take notes as you go along. It's fine. I got you covered. At the end, you'll be able to see it all. And when I put that up, that will be when you guys get to yell at me about everything I missed, because I'm sure I missed a ton. I went through everything I could find on my drama list, and I just tried to hash out. That's why about half this list is from East or South Asia. And I feel like they're really showing up Western countries for the most part. Although there has been one really exciting development with one of like the biggest shows in the UK that we will get to because this was super recent. But anyway, we're starting with East and a little bit of South Asia. And we're going to talk about, I guess, kind of the queer elephant in the room right at the top. So, as I'm sure you're all aware, China recently has said that they were going to crack down on anything that seems even remotely, gay and like effeminate men, whatever that means for them. And everybody's super concerned now about all these highly anticipated things that were supposed to be coming out in China this year. Now we don't know when we're going to get them. So like there are 4 that I'm particularly looking forward to. What they look like when they get here and when they get here are now kind of intensely up in the air. But I'm still looking forward to them because they're just that. I mean, it's like a new, thanks to the Untamed and Word of Honor, it's like a new favorite genre, like ancient Chinese and gay beyond all reason. Like that is now an addiction of mine, and so I can't help but look forward to it. And I would like to remind people though that in terms of like present, like the level of gayness that we have seen on screen just from the big 3 shows in the past recent years, so Guardian, The Untamed, and Word of Honor, in terms of gayness that we have gotten on screen, The Untamed is probably the least overtly gay of the 3. And that was still pretty homosexual. So I feel like even if they really like cut down on all of the fun times that we try really hard to have, I think the odds are is that we can still get some really good stuff out of it, and we could still get some really good stories out of it. So I remain cautiously optimistic. But those 4 shows, and this will surprise absolutely nobody, Immortality and A League of Noblemen, and then my 2 most anticipated out of this 4 is of course Eternal Faith, which is an MXTX thing. She did The Untamed, and Winner is King, which is by Priest, who did Word of Honor. I don't know when we're gonna get them, and I frankly don't care because I loved their other work so much that I will be watching it regardless, and I just cannot describe how much I'm anticipating these things no matter what they look like. And they have the original novels that you can read, and in Eternal Faith's case, there's the Donghua, and there are other ways that we can get in the queerness, and of course fan fiction, if they turned out to be straightened out by their country of origin, so to speak. And that just really, it's a testament to how great like Chinese queer stuff can be, that even if it's really tamped down, it's still on my most anticipated list. And I don't even really know when it's coming out. They really shouldn't be on this list because they're probably not going to come out this year. But I don't care. It's my list. Anyway, Thailand, going over to Thailand for a couple of these. I was super excited to hear about the show. We don't have a release date for most of these, but we know it's coming in this year in 2022. Kin Porsche. I'm extremely looking forward to, despite the fact that I hate the trend of just naming the show with the ship name or just the 2 guys' names, just naming it after that. I'm like, that's super lazy. That's the laziest thing that you could possibly do. And yet, still most anticipated, because this is like gang members, but I think it also, no, it's specifically Mafia. And the guys, I think it was the cast that really made me anticipate this. Let me click over real quick. Yeah, because it's Mile and it's either Apo or Oppo. I haven't heard it actually pronounced in my ears, but I can hear the wife laughing. But you're giving me like some Mafia kind of like greaser vibes. The poster, when you look it up, first of all, has a big gun between them, and I'm like, bonus points for metaphors. And but it also looks like hand drawn, so it looks like more seriousness has been put into this series, and it just generally sounds super Mafia greaser drama. And I'm like, give this to me, Thailand, especially with the stuff that you've been doing recently. I'm on board. I'm here. Yes, you got me. You got me, okay? I'm here. Give it to me now. Of course, there's no release date, but that's fine. I'm fine about that. I'm absolutely fine about that. The next one is also from Thailand, and it's called I Feel You Linger in the Air. And I had just been thinking, I was like, if somebody, not even Thailand, but if somebody gives me a BL series in a historical setting, like anywhere from like the 20s to like the 50s, I will die. And then this show was like, I got you. Because, and not only does the majority of it take place in like 1930s, this says Chiang Mai, but the main character has to like time travel to get there. So, and then of course meets the guy who was in 1930s, and I'm like, you're giving me 1930s garb and a 1930s setting in a canon BL series? Yes. I'm there. I am very there. These are all, because they're all most anticipated, I will, unless something big happens, be doing a reaction as they air. And just so when it happens, yes, I'm there. I'm there. I'm a particular whore for 1930s garb in general, regardless of country. And this feels like it was just tailor-made like for me. And it was one of those things where I really felt like I manifested it, because I swear to God, I had that thought about 1900, about the 20s to the 50s. And I was like, woo, that'd be great. And then 3 days later, I was looking stuff up for this live stream, and there it was. You're welcome. I created this series out of whole cloth. The next one is from South Korea. I think it's the only... No. There are 2 from South Korea on this list. Just like there are 2 from Japan. Anyway, the one from South Korea is called Tinted With You. And actually, I think this one may have just... it finishes on January 14th. So, like, it's technically end of 2021, beginning of 22. It's kind of already in the middle of airing. But whatever, it's my list. This is another historical one, and I think it's actually just a very, very short series. It's 8 episodes at like 12 minutes each, so it's not going to be long. But it is feudal Korea bodyguard vibes. Not to mention there's also modern day stuff happening. So we get like we get the best of everything. And I'm kind of angry that it's going to be so short. But anything that gives me bodyguard vibes, I'm there. But then you give me, feudal bodyguard vibes. And I'm literally writing a book with medieval bodyguard vibes. So this would be very, very obvious as to why I'm so freaking excited. Had I found out about this sooner, I would have been doing reactions to it. But I'm pretty sure that when I found out about this, it was like going to start airing in like 3 days. And I already had way too much going on at the time in order to do an actual reaction series to this. But this will probably be an After Dark as soon as possible. As soon as possible. There's a lot of stuff to do on After Dark now. It's kind of hilarious. It was supposed to be the casual thing, and then it wasn't. The next two I'm already very, very familiar with, so I can just talk to you about them instead of trying to look them up. From Japan, Cherry Magic is getting a movie. I don't know what the movie could possibly entail, because we already had like the chief romantic arc in the season that we got last year or the year before. This is a pretty recent series from Japan. But do I care? No, because the main guys in this show were so good. The show in general gets like a 4 out of 5 for me. And I wasn't expecting it to get a 4 out of 5, just because the premise is one of those things that could have gone either way. If you don't know, Cherry Magic, the protagonist turns 30 and he's a virgin. And the old saying, the old curse is that you turn 30 and you're a virgin and you can start to hear other people's thoughts. And that happens to him. So it's a very magical realism setting, because you have, contemporary Japan, and there's just this one thing that's magical, this one thing that's weird. And he starts to hear thoughts, and a coworker of his apparently is like super crushing on him hard. And that is what kicks their romantic arc into gear over the course of the season. And leave it to Japan to make something that sounds absolutely ridiculous actually be incredibly sweet and heartwarming and super romantic. And their chemistry is unbelievable. Their chemistry is so adorable. And it's just, it just came out of nowhere. It really did. I was so pleasantly surprised. And now we're getting a movie. I will be reacting to this movie. Obviously, I already said most anticipated. I'll be reacting to it. And I don't even need to know what it's about. Although I'm curious, because now that we already have the romantic arc, how are we going to... And I know it's not a side story. I know it's with the two main guys. So whatever form it takes, I'm here. Because Cherry Magic was definitely possibly the most surprising thing that I watched last year. Like, did not expect to really like, and then wound up being just a nice little... I have a soft spot for this series. And we get a movie. Not that we know when it's going to come out, because it's only January 3rd. But the next one is also from Japan. And this one I have raved about in a previous video, and it's another series that we're getting a movie for. We are getting a movie for What Did You Eat Yesterday? And if you haven't seen season 1, you need to drop everything and go watch season 1, because this is a 5 out of 5 series from me. I love this show. It's one of my favorite things to come out of Japan. It's a story. It's contemporary Japan. It's sort of a comedy drama of sorts, and it's about middle-aged partners. They've been living together for several years, and you have the more flamboyant one, and then you have the really, really super not flamboyant one, who is very repressed. He represses himself, is the interesting thing. Like, his parents know, but like he's so privately minded that nobody else knows, and he doesn't want anybody else to know. He closets himself. And the show, just from the actors alone, did a masterful job capturing these guys' relationship and what that means when you have someone who couldn't be in the closet if he tried, and was someone who has buried himself in the closet, and how that works in modern day Japan. And we're getting a movie for them, which I'm so excited about. In fact, I actually think it drops really, really soon, because the last I heard, we had a trailer for it. The last I heard, it was that it was supposed to be January. I think it may even drop on Netflix. It's supposed to be very soon. And I can't be more excited. These guys' relationship is so delightful and soft, and each of the actors are wonderful in their own right. And then they come together to have like this little gay domestic bliss with this, pardon me, with this problem running through them that they have to deal with in a very grounded way. And I cannot scream about this show enough. And I'm super, super excited that we're getting a movie because it's delightful. And you need to see it right the hell now. And the last one I'm going to talk about from East and South Asia is actually airing right now. And I am doing a reaction series to this. I've resumed my filming schedule this week, and this one is on it. It is Bad and Crazy from South Korea. It just started airing a couple of weeks ago. And I was so fucking excited about it when I heard that I squeezed it into my already packed schedule for the first couple of months of this year. Because you have the guy, and I'm not even going to try to mention names because I cannot pronounce them and I can't remember them. So, not much of a point. But basically, you have the guy from Strangers from Hell who was the, like, stone cold psychopath from that show. And then you have one of the guys from Squid Game, and they are in this, I will loosely call it a buddy cop situation, but it's basically this dark interpretation of a cop and this, I think he's actually a criminal? Or is he a vigilante? It's very yin-yang in terms of they're doing good, but they're kind of psycho about it. And they start working together. And this isn't, as far as I know, going anywhere canon, but like, I don't, like, who would care? I want, the vigilante and the bad cop, basically, to team up and go on homoerotic adventures together. And from the trailer that I saw, that's exactly what we're getting. And it's about halfway through filming. There are 12 episodes, and it's filming at 2 episodes a week. And I will be reacting to 2 episodes a week so that I can at least keep an even pace when it finishes, and I won't fall, like, so even farther behind than I already am. But I start filming that this week. And cop action-y, investigation-y, crime vibes. Again, genre queerness. If you were not expecting a list basically full of genre queerness, then I am not doing my job right in hosting this channel. Because if there's one thing that you should know about me, it's genre queerness. That's the weak spot. I'll go there every single time. But Bad and Crazy looks fantastic. And instantly shot up to one of my most anticipated of the entire year. Because it's so up my alley. And it looked really good. You should look up the trailer. Again, one of those things that I could talk about for 10 million years. But I can't. So we're moving on to the western side of the world. And possibly my most anticipated thing, period, for the entire year, kind of regardless of anything, is the animated series called The Legend of Vox Machina. And if you don't know what the hell Vox Machina is, that is from a Dungeons and Dragons show called Critical Role that I have been a rather intense fan of for the past 4 years, Tamaris? Yeah, obsessed for about 4 years. That sounds right. And I don't even know how to adequately explain what makes this so amazing. So the thing about Critical Role and the way that they play Dungeons and Dragons is that there are a bunch of voice actors. living in LA, and they are a friend group that just got together to play D&D for one of the players' birthdays, and then it just kind of spiraled from there. And then they put it on camera, and then now they're huge. They're gigantic. You may or may not have heard of them, and that's saying something considering they're a bunch of voice actors who play Dungeons and Dragons on Twitch, right? Well, their first campaign got animated because they hosted a Kickstarter to do a little animated special, and then they became one of the most overly funded Kickstarters in Kickstarter's history, and that funded 2 seasons of an entire animated series that got picked up by Amazon. And that series has been in development for what feels like ages, but must be about 3, or actually if not like 4 years at this point, thanks COVID. And it's finally starting on February 4th. And the great thing about Critical Role as well is that in terms of, the core members of the cast, 2 of them are out bi men, and then the rest of them are as gay friendly as you could possibly be. And the guy who runs the whole thing, Matt Mercer, bends over backwards to make his games and his worlds as inclusive as possible. And so you never know really what type of representation is going to pop up in his world. And the characters in the main cast, there's always 1 or 2, if not more, who are queer in some aspect. And campaign 2, which was an entirely different thing, had a canon sapphic romance between 2 of the main characters. And in the one that has just been animated, which is about Vox Machina, you have a couple of queer characters as well. And then you have one of the people in the main cast has canon feelings for another male character who is part of the world. And they are my OTP of that campaign. They're actually probably my entire Critical Role OTP period. And this is finally a scripted series that gets to tell the entire story, and that will include this OTP. And even though they are not in the forefront, they're very much a tertiary thing that just kind of pops up every now and then. Thanks to Matt Mercer and his queering of Dungeons and Dragons, you also never know what other kind of representation you're going to get throughout the series. So it is guaranteed to be a very, very queer-friendly show. And I can tell you, having seen the campaign and knowing the overall story that is going to happen over what is going to be several seasons, you want to watch the show. It is one of the best stories I have ever seen, end of sentence. And that was when it was Dungeons and Dragons tabletop gaming improv, let alone they all got together and sat down and turned it into a scripted narrative. You want to watch this show. End of sentence. If I keep going, I'll keep going for another 2 years, because this is the most anticipated. So I can talk for a long time about anything on this list. They pushed up the air date a week?
Yeah, I just looked in your chat. They said January 26th.
What?
Check your dates.
Oh, God. January's already super busy. Oh, no, wait. I wasn't going to do a reaction series for the... Maybe I would do After Dark, but I wasn't going to do an actual reaction series because, 1, January and February is super busy for me, and 2, the OTP action is very in the background, and I don't even know how much of it they're going to get to over the course of these first 2 seasons because of where they're going. So that wasn't going to be a reaction, but it will probably work its way into After Dark somehow, because my love for Critical Role, I cannot tell you. But it's been moved up a week. I never know anything. I'm supposed to be telling you things, but you guys are telling me things. It's fine. It's fine. The next one is season 2 of Euphoria, which starts literally next week, January 9th. And I will be reacting to that as well, because one of the main aspects of that show is the relationship between Rue and Jules. Rue, played by Zendaya, and Jules, played by Hunter Schafer, who is a glorious trans woman who I love and stan, and I can feel the wife making that face at me from all the way across the house in a different room because my love for Hunter Schafer. And they have an incredible love story that's already going on. If you haven't gotten caught up with season 1, you should. There's season 1. There are 2 bonus episodes between seasons 1 and 2 that both concern Rue and Jules. One is entirely about Rue, and the other one is entirely about Jules. And we're going to see wherever they wind up going with season 2. That makes me super anxious just because of where they currently are from like a psychological standpoint. It seems to be looking up, but for the sake of not giving away any spoilers, I can't give you any details. But it is a beautifully, painfully, 3-dimensionally rendered relationship between these 2 high school girls. And the entire show is fucking fantastic. And one of the best shows featuring a high school setting that I have ever seen. I'm a huge fan of the show in general. But Rue and Jules are... You could watch the show just for Rue and Jules. Even if you're not really a fan of everything else going on. You could very easily watch this show just for Rue and Jules. That is an entirely valid way to watch the show. I wouldn't judge you at all, frankly. And that starts next week, and I will be watching that as it kind of airs, so there won't be a week delay. Like, it airs on Sunday, I'll be reacting to it on Sunday and then posting it the next day. So there's no week delay as per usual. I'll be watching it more kind of readily along with you. And it's on HBO. Go watch it, please. Just go. I can hear you laughing, ma'am. The next one is actually one that Tamaris knows more about than I do. Heartstopper, which is a graphic novel by Alice Oseman, who is a terrific author, is getting a live action series. And I only found this out recently, and the cast looks super fucking cute. It is a like high school rom-com type vibe. I believe it's a whole jock, non-jock situation. Am I correct, wife?
Yes, although the non-jock does join the sports team.
Oh, okay. So jock, non-jock situation, but the non-jock becomes a jock?
Kind of.
Ish?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're adorable.
Kind of. The point is that they're adorable, and we get a live action series for that this year. I think it's a Netflix one. Don't quote me though, you'll have to look it up. But I'll get Tamaris to give a couple of details when she actually gets on camera, because she has read the graphic novels, and I have not. So I will be going into it blind, but she will be going in with all the knowledge in the world. It looks super, super sweet though, and super cute, and they really nailed the cast. Not just in my opinion, but like for her as well, because, you know, again, she has all the information in the world. And so I'm very, very excited about that. It looks like something, you know, high school rom-com-y that I could really potentially be into. Whereas Euphoria has a high school setting, but it's not a rom-com-y atmosphere. It is a very dark, fucked up, intense, polar opposite atmosphere to anything like Heartstopper. Those are 2 very different things. Next up is actually a short film. I thought it was going to be a whole ass film, but it's a short film. And it's called The Lake House. And it's a thriller/horror vibe, but the couple is a gay couple. And I'm like, thank you. Where are the gays in horror? Like, instead of watching a straight couple go through all of it, I would like to watch, you know, a couple of husbands go through some kind of horror scenario. And that is exactly what this short film was going to give me. The Lake House is about a couple of husbands who go out to a lake house that is deeply fucked up in some kind of horrific way that I didn't look up because I'm anti-spoiler. But that comes out really soon, but again, no release date, because why would we have release dates this early in the year? That would be convenient. But yeah, if you're like me and you're looking for more queer horror vibes, that is definitely on your list. The trailer looks really good. Next is something that most people already know about. Actually, these next three are something that most people already know about. But who cares? It's my list. Season 4 of Killing Eve should happen this year. And if you don't know what Killing Eve is, it is Hannibal for lesbians. There's really no better descriptor than that. It is about she's an agent for like MI6 or some shit. Crime fighter. Okay, crime fighter. And psychotic, assassin chick become obsessed with each other. It really is Hannibal for lesbians. And while I do like a lot of the show happening around them, in this case, I am more specifically here just for the sapphic situation. But I will still be reacting to it when it happens. Although I am a season behind, I still need to watch season 3. But we are getting season 4 this year, and I believe it's the last season. Feel free to correct me, but I believe this is where the series ends, which I strongly agree with, because something this heavily stylized with this type of intense relationship, you can't really sustain past a certain point, because then it just gets exhausting real quick, because the only way to have drama is by having something going on with the main relationship, right? And that can jump the shark real easy. The line between this is super compelling, what's going to happen with them, and Jesus Christ, we're doing this for the 100th time, that's a super thin line. But just in general, I mean, you have Jodie Comer and Sandra Oh being extremely gay for each other in a whole bunch of super fucked up ways. And it's all very, like, thriller vibes from a filming standpoint. It has that kind of, like, desaturated, espionage, tracking people over, through different countries at great distances and all of that kind of shit. Genre queerness, again. Very excited to see it, though. Very, very excited for that to finally happen. That was one of the million shows that was delayed by COVID, so we are very overdue to see how the Hannibal lesbians turn out. It's probably not going to be good, though. But then, did we expect Hannibal to really end well? You know what I mean? Like, for the characters, like, it ended well for us. We won, but I can hear her laughing. It's the best thing. Next is actually a show that I haven't even watched yet, and yet it's still on my most anticipated because I just know that I'm going to love it that much. We finally get season 2 of a show called Gentleman Jack. I have not seen season 1, but it is based on a true story about some pioneer queer woman from like 1880 something, maybe earlier actually. I haven't seen the show yet, so don't quote me on the exact year. But, like, she is here, and she is queer, and they can all get used to it. And in that kind of century, that's a big fucking deal. And apparently it's hilarious and terrific, and all the little tidbits that I've seen from it have been amazing. I haven't watched season 1 yet because I've been both busy and lazy at the same time. But it's still on my most anticipated because it just looks that good, and I have so much confidence in it being that good. And they were finally filming, I think, towards the end of last year, and we are getting it this year. Probably, my semi-educated guess would be probably not until summer of this year. And then watch. I'm sure Chad has already corrected me and be like, actually, it comes out in February. But no, in terms of historical sapphic content, which we seem to be getting a lot of lately in the past 5 years, thanks, Carol, this is like at the top. This is at the top of the historical sapphicness. Although the show Dickinson with Haley Steinfeld just ended. The series just ended with season 3. I have seen seasons 1 and 2? Have I seen season 2? I can't even remember at this point. But it's a very deliberately anachronistic show about Emily Dickinson and her completely fucking queer love for her friend, right? And it's all absolutely 1000% canon, and they are the main love story throughout the show. And it is really funny and kind of bizarre, and I do recommend it. And that like just ended, I think literally like a couple of weeks ago. That is like the fourth car alarm to go off, and we never hear car alarms go off. The world hates my live streams. Anyway, super recent, as in like 2 days ago. So I'm a big Doctor Who fan, and I have been for a very long time now. Huge Doctor Who fan. I am behind on this season, but this season only has like 6 episodes, so I feel like I'm not like nearly as behind as some other people in this house.
Wow.
But I kind of like, I feel like any queer girl had kind of been low-key shipping the 13th Doctor with Yaz, kind of just because. Like, I mean, they're there, so like, sure, why not? You know, kind of thing. And then either yesterday or the day before, the New Year's, well, I mean, yeah, so this would be 3 days ago because it was the New Year's special, aired, and all of a sudden, we have canon feelings when it comes to Yaz and 13. At the very least, Yaz. We got confirmation about Yaz. And then we have the next episode, or the next special, or what have you, is a spring special. So we are getting it sooner rather than later, but once again, we have no firm release date yet. But to see what the hell happens, and like, will Yaz confess her big queer love to the 13th Doctor? Like, I don't know, but now that's a question? Now that's like a thing? So I am totally getting caught up on season 13 and plus that special. And then whenever this spring special airs, I will absolutely be reacting to that, because you're gonna yes, this is a thing that is happening. Doctor Who is featuring some potentially really good sapphicness on it, and I still can't believe that that's like coming out my mouth. Anyway, Doctor Who's happening. The spring special. I will be reacting to it. And that's it for like the canon stuff. So in terms of just shippable things, non-canon stuff, there are a few, and they're actually all really big names. So this year, Star Trek has a spin-off from Discovery called Strange New Worlds that is supposed to take place more around like the original series timeline. I don't even know if it's confirmed that we're getting a new Kirk for this, but Spock is obviously going to be there, and Pike is going to be the captain, and so it's still just a little bit before Kirk takes over on the Enterprise. And just generally speaking, Discovery does a great job with, well, a good job with its progressiveness in terms of, you know, sci-fi, Star Trek, the kind of going on an entire history of being progressive with Star Trek. And the whole thing with Strange New Worlds is like, if we do get Kirk, is this going to be like, are we going to get the first couple years of like Kirk-Spock interaction? Because technically the original series started when they had already begun their 5-year mission. So there is a little bit of a blank space that they could fill in. How gay is it going to be when it gets filled in? Is there going to be queerness in other aspects, since they're being fairly decent about queer representation? There's just a whole lot of really potentially gay questions to be answered about Strange New Worlds. And because, I mean, Spurk is the ship that introduced me to queer fandom. It also introduced me to like the wife and a whole bunch of it. It changed my life. It's the foundational shit. So like anything that could even remotely possibly touch that is going to be on my most anticipated. And I'm not even caught up on Discovery. I think they're at like season 4 or something, and I've still only seen season 1 because I was very angry at them about one thing that they did that was actually not queer related. But I'm over that now. I can continue on, especially to get to Strange New Worlds. I will plow through almost anything to get to even just the potential of having a new modern day Kirk and Spock meet at the... Yes. Genre queerness, again. I live to be this predictable. Next, I believe it's at some point this year, although we're only just now getting cast announcements, so it may actually be more of a 2023 thing. But I'm optimistic, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. We're getting a series for Interview with the Vampire, and now that Anne Rice is dead, it may actually be pretty gay. And I feel like if you don't make it as queerly as possible, then you're just basically doing a disservice to everything that is Interview with the Vampire, regardless of whatever Anne Rice decided to say about it. And that automatically has to go on a list. Anything involving Interview with the Vampire has to go on most anticipated gay lists. Because, like, I mean, I was goth in high school. I was very much theater goth in high school. So, an even more dramatic goth in high school. And how do you not love Interview with the Vampire when you fall into that subcategory? I basically didn't have an option. And so any kind of new interpretation is going to be on my most anticipated. And God, I hope it lives up to the queer predecessor that was the film with, you know, Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise and all that. Yeah. If you have no idea what Interview with the Vampire is, other than the fact that there are vampires involved, you should go watch that movie, the first movie, the only valid movie in the Interview with the Vampire franchise. I may have made a couple people mad just now, but, like, no, really. It's from 1993 or 5. Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, they are vampire dads to a very young Kirsten Dunst, and the costuming is gorgeous. Kirsten Dunst is fantastic as, like, a 12-year-old psychotic vampire girl. Amazing. It's the absolute worst found family you've ever seen in your entire life, but it's also super gay. You need to go watch it to just get prepared for the possibilities of this new series. Next is season 3 of The Boys, which is the Eric Kripke show that has been happening, I think, on Amazon for the past couple of years. It stars Carl Urban and Jack Quaid. I was like, Dennis Quaid's son. I should probably remember his name. And they have one of those dynamics where it's like they start to get closer and a little bit more emotionally intimate, and you're like, yeah, and then the show tries to explain it away by being like, oh, Jack Quaid just reminds Carl Urban's character of, like, his brother or whatever. And I'm like, nice try, but no, sorry, no. And that show in general is already built to be, like, as shocking and twisty and kind of mind-blowing as possible. So it's, like, already fantastic. But then they're adding Jensen Ackles from Supernatural into the cast. And, like, any potential for him to walk around and have vibes with, like, another... Yes. I was already going to do a reaction to season 3 when it came around because of Carl Urban and Jack Quaid's characters coming together so well and just very gaily throughout season 2. I was pleasantly surprised. But then you're going to add Jensen Ackles to the mix. And how could I not? How could I not? So that should be on... If you're into superheroes, extremely fucked up superheroes, that should be on your gay radar for 2022. I almost said 2023. And then, of course, next we have, we're getting the series for Lord of the Rings. Once again, I don't know if that's a this year thing or potentially a 23 thing, but... Again, optimistic, bringing it up anyway. Lord of the Rings just provides a general outstanding context for shipping. So this isn't looking forward to any one particular thing, and it doesn't even follow, you know, Fellowship of the Ring and all that jazz. It takes place however long before that. But just, it already hands you inherently fantastic shipping opportunities. Let alone, obviously, all of the greatness that is the Middle-earth story and existence and all of that jazz. But I mean, it provides some of the best shipping possibilities. And that is automatically on my radar, even if I don't have anything specific to cling to yet. But there's going to be something. It wouldn't be Lord of the Rings without it, frankly. And then similar vibe to Lord of the Rings that also applies to the next one. We are apparently getting a series for the Resident Evil franchise. And the thing about Resident Evil is that it's intensely shippable across all sexualities, across all possible pairings. And there's something about their combination of, you know, zombie. It's not even really apocalypse. It's just zombie dealings, right, in a contemporary setting. Something about the way Resident Evil does things is incredibly shippable from, like, every angle. So, not unlike Lord of the Rings, if you find out that Resident Evil is doing a series, my eyes automatically go there. And not just because I've been a Resident Evil fan since I was, like, a teenager, but also because they're just so good at it. And I don't even really know why. I've been meaning to do like a whole essay on the appeal of Resident Evil in general, because it's such a weird appeal. But part of it is the immense shippability of, like, basically everybody all the time. And one of the games actually features one of my favorite gay ships, kind of, period. I don't know if they would go into my top 10, so I don't know if I can tease that being in my top 10 favorite ships of all time video that's going to come out hopefully sometime in the first half of this year. But it could be. Anyway, Resident Evil, intensely shippable, not unlike Lord of the Rings. And that is all that I have. Let me bring up the list so you guys can actually see it and write anything. Ooh, here's the problem. You're seeing me twice now, I know. I can do that. This is the problem. I'm trying to figure out a way to have this available for you guys while also being able to look at the chat room while you guys yell at me about things that I have missed. And we can discuss it that way. So excuse the awkward clicking. Let me pull this over. There we go. Okay, all right. No, I got it. I'm here. Okay. Can you guys see the list? What am I asking you guys for? My wife is right there. Can you see? Yeah?
Let me see if I put it full screen if I can actually read it.
Yeah, being able to read it is the key here.
Yes, I figured. If I put you full screen, I can read it.
Okay, cool. So you guys should be able to read it. I wanted to make the font as big as possible so you guys could see it, but not that I would have to be, like, scrolling every 5 minutes. But yes, that is my most anticipated of 2022. There is a lot of stuff to look forward to, but am I missing anything is the big question. Actually, the list of stuff from East and South Asia, in terms of what I'm generally looking forward to, is much longer. I think I have, like, I'm trying to remember my account on my drama list. I think I have like 20 titles or something. There's a lot going on with BL series this year. It is at least going to be a good year, and that we will have a lot of options. Let me see. Oh, the Resident Evil series. Ooh. Is it based on the games or movies? That's the big question. Because if it's based on the games, then super hyped. If it's based on the movies, we have reason to be at least somewhat concerned, quality speaking. Because as far as I'm concerned, only the first Resident Evil movie exists. That is a good question, though. Why am I looking it up? Tamaris, can you Google real quick whether or not the new Resident Evil series is going to be based on the movies or games? Thank you. Oh, season 2 of the Heaven's Official Blessings, like the Donghua, is coming this year? Why did I think they were further into that? I thought it was practically done. Amanda, the Modazushi, Donghua? Is that the correct term? I'm pretty sure that's the correct term when referring to that one. Yeah, that's actually on the schedule for me to react to in these next few months. I forget exactly when it comes up because my schedule tends to shift.
TV series for Resident Evil is based on the video game franchise.
Yes! The wife just read to me that the Resident Evil series is indeed based on the game franchise. So now we are especially hyped. I would love for them to just start with the first game plot-wise and then just go through the whole thing. That would make my whole ass life. I was right in calling it Donghua. Okay. Oh, really? The Heaven's Official Blessing Donghua is still very early in the story. Oh, well. Damn. I thought I was way more behind. This stream is going to stay up. Yeah. Mad Hatter, the second it ends, it's going to go public. It's not like other streams where there's going to be like a delay. Because I would like something to go up on this channel this week, since everything else is going to be posted at a delay. So no worries. I have seen 3 will be free. I really deeply enjoyed it. It would have been a 5 out of 5 for me if not for the ending. Jessica, I expected Heaven's Official Blessing to be very long. Because that's MXTX. And we have learned about MXTX book length from that time I promised to read Modazushi on camera and then found out that it was 500,000 words long. We are keenly aware now. Yeah, Wangxin. Speaking of which, the Modazushi book reading. Oh my god, I have it here all handy like I'm some kind of YouTuber. Yeah, I have volume 1 of the official English translation of Modazushi in my freaking hands. And I believe that comes back for me this week, because I start filming things this week. But for you guys, next week. I believe it happens on Fridays for the first little bit, and then at some point it gets bumped up. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm actually trying to decide whether or not I'm going to just pick up where I left off or just start all over again. It depends. I'm not sure. I'll probably ask you guys in a post at some point, because I'm still trying to make that decision. But yes, it is coming back extremely soon. Oh, is it 8 volumes for Modazushi? That feels about right. Like 8 volumes of this feels about right for something that's 500 fucking thousand words long. Oh, 8 volumes for Heaven's Official Blessing. Katie, I've seen a about half, I think, of Downton Abbey. Because I know there was that one gay character who was like, you love to hate him. But I don't remember. I watched up until a certain character died, and I was so heartbroken that I couldn't continue because he was my favorite. But then I found out that it was just, the actor leaving. Because I used to be angry that they made that creative decision at all because it was bullshit, but then it was just the actor leaving. So I was like, oh, well, yeah, I'm still mad, but yeah. Did it get any gayer, though, Downton Abbey? Because if it did... The Guardian schedule is changing, I believe. It used to be Monday and Wednesdays, and then now for a little bit, it's... Hang on, let me pull up Tumblr. Because in case you're wondering about schedules, I have a pinned post up on the Gaywatch Tumblr that is the most consistent place for my schedule and schedule changes. Right, Guardian is on Wednesdays and Fridays for this coming month, for this next month. And then I think it shifts around. I'm trying to accommodate like 2 currently airing shows at the moment. So the one thing that's going to get shifted around is Guardian because that is the one consistent thing. And so it's kind of more adaptable in that it's already been aired. So I don't have to worry about when it airs. But yeah, Guardian returns this week now that I'm back to filming. And then it's, for this month, it's like Guardian and the Moda Zushi novel and Bad and Crazy. I think those are the 3 things that are happening this month. Plus, whenever the What Did You Eat Yesterday movie drops, whenever that is, which should be really soon, that will happen as well. And for Guardian, it'll be the same setup as per usual. So this Saturday... patrons will get the next 2 uncut episodes of Guardian, and then the following week the edited versions will be put up on YouTube. Same situation. Fran, Downton Abbey was gay in the sense that there was a gay character who was very... again, you said you loved to hate him because he was so conniving and detestable, from what I remember. But he was also very gay. Oh yeah, I've had people recommend reading the name guide for Moda Zushi, which is I fully planned on doing that. Even though I'm obviously way more familiar with the world and the characters now than I was when I first watched the Untamed, I still want to get like whatever download that they want to give me before I start reading, sure. Or start reading it again. Ooh, Eggy. What's up with Dramatical Murder? So the Twitch stream isn't happening this year, but Dramatical Murder is, and probably a gay game here and there, every now and then. But Dramatical Murder is happening before April, or maybe in April. It's either March or April. But that is happening. That is definitely happening. I've been looking forward to that visual novel for too long to not do it, finally, at this point. Especially now that there's an official English translation. Ooh, another Chinese BL adaptation that was supposed to come out around this time. I haven't heard of Chasing the Light. Let me look on my phone so I don't cause more screen chaos for you guys. I haven't heard about Chasing the Light at all. I haven't finished my Untamed rewatch yet. No. I've just gotten out of the flashback, and then I took a mini break for a couple of reasons, but also so that I could make take some notes for the fic, for the Wangxian fic that I'm writing, because it's a reincarnation fic, and there's a chief difference in kind of the timeline, and that everything that happens after the flashback actually doesn't happen, kind of at all. And so I really needed to take stock of where Wuxian and Wang Ji were at the time that Wuxian goes off the cliff. Because in the fic, they both go off the cliff. But now I have taken those notes, and I've taken a second to kind of get my head around that, and now I can finish my rewatch, which I'm really enjoying. And I'm live blogging at the Stairs of Koi Tower, my Untamed side blog. I am live blogging my rewatch. And I'm also kind of live blogging the development of the fic. What on earth was I looking up? Chasing the Light, yes. Did I turn off and turn on my phone while I was saying all of that? Because my phone looks like it's booting up right now, and I didn't do that consciously. So I'm just going to let that figure itself out and just remember the name Chasing the Light, but probably not, because I'm ADD. I'm really glad that people are enjoying the live blogging, honestly, because I basically just bash my head on the keyboard and then hit post. So it's been super funny to see people actually following the live blog of the rewatch, of the Untamed rewatch. Doluo Continent, why does that sound vaguely familiar? I haven't seen it, but I feel like I've heard of it. Sense8 is happening. Sense8 is happening after Guardian. After Guardian ends in... I think Guardian ends in April. And then Sense8 happens after that. I'm sorry, Xiaojian is in what? Whoa. Rewind. Xiaojian is in what? Oh, really? That's probably why I vaguely heard of Doluo Continent. It's not, you know, like, gay, is it? Doluo Continent? The world wouldn't be that nice to me. Ah, see? Not gay. The world isn't that nice to me. Yeah, I'll still be able to do Dramatical Murder for March. I have it in, it's on the Tumblr. If it's on the Tumblr schedule, that is the latest version of my schedule. And Dramatical Murder is not going anywhere. It's definitely in there. I'm so excited for the Sense8. I almost said rewatch, like I've seen it before. I haven't. I'm so excited for the Sense8 reaction. That's the word I meant to use. I've only been meaning to watch it since, you know, it aired. I've been incredibly behind on finally getting to that series. And after it came in second twice during the big voting on what I react to next, I was like, well, I'm just going to use this as an excuse to just make it the next thing. Yeah! Fifi. I think that's Fifi. I hope that's not an L. That should be an I. Yeah, both of those. Vice versa, and God, I wish it had a better title, but Moonlight Chicken. I'm very excited for both of those, especially since Moonlight has the couple of guys from 1,000 Stars, which is probably my favorite BL that I've watched recently. That was so good. And it's the same guys in the Moonlight thing. I am very excited for that. Why the hell wasn't that on my most anticipated, actually? Because the trailer came out and it looked like really good. So Wow, I suck. No, that should also be technically on my most anticipated. I don't think we have a release date for that either. Annika, I plan on watching The Sleuth of the Ming Dynasty on my own because it's like 40 episodes long and it came out a couple few years ago now. Um, so I do plan on watching that on my own though because I keep hearing like really good things, and it's I mean crime solving, historical context. We all know me at this point. Yo, I'm super excited for the Wang Yibo dance reaction as well because I've never seen him dance before. I was supposed to film that today, but it was my first day back after 2 weeks off, and I really didn't want to have a double header like recording a reaction and doing a live stream all at once on my first day back, so I didn't. But I do plan on doing that at some point this week. The wife says that that's growth, that I don't just overload myself the second I get back from vacation. And nobody asked her, but she's right. I have not seen Painted Skin. I have no idea what that is. Yeah, Tale of a Thousand Stars. That's what I meant. I think I just called it Thousand Stars a couple minutes ago, but that's the full title is Tale of a Thousand Stars. It's my favorite one that I've seen recently. And probably, as of right now, I think off the top of my head, I would call it my favorite BL from Thailand so far. But I haven't seen Manor of Death yet. I need to be writing these things down, but I can't be looking at my freaking phone the whole time. I would write it down on my whiteboard, but it's not here. It's fallen off and refuses to be... It refuses to be mounted, okay? Painted Skin. I heard that! The wife goes, it's a top. This is why I married her. Painted Skin. That's what I'm writing down. Painted Skin. I need to look into that. And then something about light. Back when I accidentally turned off my phone. Chasing the Light. Thank you, wife. Yes. You want to talk about stuff that's currently airing though, especially in terms of Thai BLs. Not Me is currently airing. In fact, we should be getting a new episode drop today. Or maybe yesterday. I might be late. And that one's actually shaping up quite nicely. That one's got a nice, like, thriller-y, action-ish vibe with the guys from a BL that I didn't particularly enjoy, but I oddly thought that if they gave them a little bit more serious material, they could really flourish, and I was right, because that's what Not Me is. Crap. They were from that one BL that was Friends to Lovers. The protagonist had a crush on him. There was a lot of rom-com references because he was into making film reviews. What the hell? I can remember all that, but not the name. But those guys, Theory of Love, thank you, L. Those guys are in Not Me. And Not Me is currently where it's at. I love where it could go. I think they're only on like episode 3 or 4. And Bad Buddy is airing too. That's one of the ones that I'm skimming through to kind of get to just the stuff with the guys. Because the stuff with the main guys, they have the cutest fucking chemistry. They have a really cute teasing chemistry. So even if you're like me and like the whole contemporary rom-com Thai BL stuff isn't necessarily up your alley, you should at least skim it for them. Because they're super freaking cute. Ooh. The guy who's the lead in Immortality. Should at least look at Evernight, because it has him in it. That's worth it, in my opinion. Winter Begonia, Chrissy, that's the one that I watched the first few episodes. I think I talked about it in that one kind of BL review roundup video that I did. I believe that's the one with the Chinese opera guy, right? It's not canon. It's not canon gay, but it's based on a canon gay thing. I think it was a bit slow for me, but the production value was insane. And both of the guys were just exceedingly good actors. Everybody, it was really good. Again, it was like a prestige drama in America. Like, the production value was super high. Everybody was of an extremely high caliber of acting. Oh yeah, Fifi, when it comes to Bad Buddy, there's also a girls love storyline going on, and they're super fucking cute too. Like, they hit gold twice with both of these pairings' chemistry. Yes. They are absolutely adorable as well. I'm waiting for them to finally freaking clue in. I've had people tell me about Yin Yang Master. Yeah. Those couple of movies, those are on my list, I think, for After Dark. Oh, yeah, I have a hard time saying that word, but that other MXTX thing with villain in the title, I plan on getting around to that at some point. But since I currently have, I'm still fulfilling the stuff that that I gave as promises way back when I did the fundraising for the new PC. I was like, if we raise X amount in this amount of time, I'll do all of this, and I'm still doing all of this because it was a lot. But all of that should be wrapped up here in the next few months, and then my schedule will open up quite a bit. I thought Between Us was already out, Lila. Or maybe it's just been YouTube throwing the trailer in my face so often. But I could have sworn that Between Us was already out. It's another Thai BL. That's actually on my list of just general things that I'm looking forward to, Chrissy. A series called Cutie Pie, yeah. It might be one that I skim through, but it's still, like, on my list because it does indeed look, potentially really cute. Oh, I was wondering why we were wishing somebody good luck. Someone's off to a job interview. Yeah, no, good luck, job interview. In fact, is that you? That icon looks familiar. Fady, if you're the patron that I think you are, then I've already wished you good luck. I keep hearing really good things about that villain series from MXTX. It gets brought up fairly regularly. I just haven't had the chance to get through it and get to it yet in any way through this sea of other things that I'm currently still wading through. I do not watch What We Do in the Shadows. It's not really my kind of humor. But I believe there's gayness in there somewhere, or it's just in general got a really great who the fuck cares liberal queer vibe. Something like that. Where I'm like, I support that. But what's his name? Because what's his name does it. What We Do in the Shadows. Taika Waititi does What We Do in the Shadows, and his humor isn't really my thing, but I support him greatly. Inez, Fragrance of the First Flower. I haven't heard of that, no. Taiwanese. Oh, it's currently airing. I'm writing that down. Give me 1 second. That wasn't supposed to be the thing There we go. Hang on. Just trying. In fact, let me go over here for a second. If you guys have gotten that, I will put that back up. I will put the list back up here in a little bit. But let me do something real quick. That requires like the whole screen. Okay. I'll put it back up here in a minute if people didn't get a chance to write down everything. Fran, have I heard of Almost Human? Yes, I have. I watched it when it first aired with the wife, and I'm waiting for the right time to bring that back as a reaction, either in After Dark or on the channel itself. I'm waiting for the right moment, because I just feel like there will be a right moment to bring back Almost Human, but it's gotta be the right one. I think part of me also wants to wait until I have a little bit more of subscribers to kind of warrant going back to like 2013 or whatever, to drag out some like underrated stuff. Because if you're a very small YouTuber like me and you try to do underrated stuff, it doesn't really go anywhere, because you live and die by like the search engine, and if people aren't searching for it, it's not going to get, you know, blah 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 blah. So I am kind of waiting for that as well. But it's so good though, and I've been wanting to revisit it for such a long time. I have it on my hard drive. It's waiting. Jessica, you're in Guardian withdrawal? Me too, man. I am so excited to get to start watching that again. Also left off at like a really great part. Like we're all getting ready to go run off over here and have a big climax to the current arc. And then I went on vacation for 2 weeks. Oh, they already answered that question. Somebody asked about a season 2 of Young Royals, and I thought it was only supposed to be one season. I have been meaning to watch that in my own time, though. In the Flesh, wasn't that like a British zombie series? Am I about to hear about gay British zombies? Because I have not seen it, but I will write it down. I swear, Chrissy, I've heard of I've heard of What the Duck, but I have not seen it. Really, In the Flesh. There's a zombie plot twist. Oh yeah, the Owl House. I still need to start watching that. It doesn't get enough votes when I put it on the list for the next series, to really warrant like putting it on After Dark or anything like that. But I do want to watch it on my own. Jinx, I have been behind on Attack on Titan ever since it first started airing. I watched season 1 when it first started, and now it's about to end, and I haven't watched it since. And I don't know why, because it is legitimately one of the greatest things I have ever freaking seen. And then I just fell out of step with it. No idea why. And now I guess I'm kind of low-key waiting for it to finish, so that I can just mainline the whole thing whenever the mood strikes me. Eggy, you really appreciate the shiny stuff on the Untamed sign blog? I'm really just obsessed with Taman. I heard that. She knows. I'm really just obsessed with Taman. I found Taman first, and then it became like, oh, Taman was part of a group. What group was it? Kind of thing. And I'm only just now starting to poke the other members of the group to see what they do and what they're about before I even poke like the group itself. But I mean, it's just, see, yeah, who isn't obsessed with Taman? Like, honestly. Oh yeah, Fifi, I mentioned Arcane earlier. Like at the very top of the stream, I mentioned Arcane. It's super hard. Taman is one of those guys that I don't get how someone wouldn't obsess over. Like, he's so, don't get me started. We'll be here for another hour just about Taman. But I do reblog stuff about Taman onto the Untamed side blog, just because that's kind of where, I mean, I also reblog like Word of Honor stuff, and it's just become, it's still mostly the Untamed, but like if there's going to be anything from kind of East Asia, I will probably put it on the Untamed side blog, just because I don't think anybody follows my actual main personal blog for stuff like that. Yulia, Taman reminds you of Gact. Why did I never make that connection before? I feel really silly now. Because Gact ostensibly was, without even realizing it, he was the first K-pop name I ever came into contact with. Ever. When I was like a teenager. Before I knew what it was. Oh no, I haven't reacted, beta to Umbrella Academy. It's been on my list though. I believe like when the next season rolls around, I was going to get caught up on the series and then decide if I want to do a reaction to the next season that comes out. But it has been on my list because I love so many people in the cast, and also it's just kind of right up my alley. Fran, favorite K-pop artists? At this point, I've been looking at a lot, and I think I've come away with like a small little handful of K-pop artists who I really like. The favorite is Taemin, but right below Taemin is Blackpink. I mean, that's the most basic answer, but for a reason, because they're amazing. And then I just discovered the chick who I'm currently writing the obsession on. Oh my god, what was her name? She has a very similar name to another K-pop solo female. Sunmi is the one who came out with the single You Can't Sit With Us this year. Right? That was Sunmi? I know it's the You Can't Sit With Us chick, but I always confuse her name with somebody else. And then I really love Hwasa. And there are a couple of other names that I can't pull off the top of my head. But the biggest one is Taemin. I found Blackpink first, though. I've been a fan of Blackpink for the past year or two. But Taemin was literally like 2 months ago. I'm talking like I've been standing him since I was 12. I found out about Taemin like 2 months ago maximum. And he's already become such an integral part of my life that Tamaris is sick of hearing about it.
That's fine. I'm used to it by now.
Are you talking about the Blackpink concert documentary? Are you talking about the Netflix thing? I think it was called Light Up the Sky or whatnot. Because I have seen that. I've seen that twice, actually. Because that was really good. That's actually what turned me from casual fan to like, no, I will ride or die for all 4 of those girls. Because it was that good. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. I have checked out BTS, actually. And just generally speaking, I think there's like a handful of songs that I really like by them, but for the most part, it seems that I have a hard time finding K-pop music that I really like, and not for lack of trying. But I do like BTS. They're just like not a fave of mine. But even then, I still have a crush on the guy who I can never fucking remember his name. It's not Jimin. It's Jin. I like a couple of the girls from... No, not twice. ITZY. I've kind of also become a stan of a couple of girls from ITZY. Oh, you're kidding, Lila. Devil Judge won best, I'm basically guessing it's BL, Romance of the Year in 2021 at the TVing Awards with 48% of the votes. And Devil Judge is on the list of top 20 best Korean dramas of 2021 by Forbes. I have been hearing really good things about Devil Judge. That's why I'm saving it for last. Stray Kids has a guy who I really like. Oh shit, what's his name? Hyunjin? He's actually how I found Taemin. Because I was watching his original dances and his dance covers. And he covered the first minute and change of Taemin's Criminal choreo. And I was like, what the hell is this song? And then I found Taemin. And then I went down a serious Taemin rabbit hole. But it was all because of Hyunjin. He had a really good... Hyunjin had an amazing Artist of the Month. Holy shit. Look it up if you have not seen it. Really? One of the guys from GOT7 is the lead in Devil Judge? I've heard of GOT7. I haven't really... I think they're one of the ones that I've been like meaning to poke eventually, but haven't gotten around to yet. But I've definitely heard of. No. That's hilarious. Shu Young deserves a Criminal fan vid, frankly. Studio Choom is a gift. They are a gift. And they keep giving. Studio Choom's actually the reason why there are a couple of girls from ITZY that I now like stan. And wish they would do solo things. Because of Studio Choom. That's what I couldn't. Thank you. Where'd you go? Yulia, thank you. You just casually mentioned Beyond Evil. That's the thing I couldn't remember earlier. Beyond Evil comes before Devil Judge in my After Dark reaction thing. That's the one that I'm going to. So, to restate, because I said that a while ago, for After Dark, I have to finish Cowboy Bebop. And then I bumped up Manor of Death. And then Beyond Evil. And then Devil Judge. But the great thing about After Dark is that they happen in a much shorter time frame than regular reactions, because I can just kind of do them in whatever. So I usually get through a whole series in like a week. Maybe 2 if it's a longer one. So it shouldn't take that long. I've never heard of that Japanese band. Now I'm writing down bands.
I'm gonna be here because you're coming up on 2 hours if you want.
See, this is why. Oh, it is, yeah. We'll get Tamaris in here to talk about some more Untamed stuff. I hadn't noticed we were coming up on 2 hours. Oops. I have seen Strangers from Hell. That was an After Dark thing. The Master Pros should be made public on my Patreon now, so you should be able to just hop over there and see it. Although I will double check. It should be public.
Just gonna pop in frame for a minute.
Oh, yeah, no, sure. She's...
Almost done.
She's so cute. No, yeah, do whatever.
I'm almost done. I'm so excited.
Lila, if my Squid Game and Strangers from Hell reactions were brutal, it's because those shows were fucking brutal. I blame the shows. And it's just going to keep going, what with Beyond Evil and Devil Judge. There is a general shortage of girls' love series. And, like, I don't even really have recommendations. Because although Couple of Mirrors is... I haven't seen it yet, so I really can't speak to... But it's been highly recommended more than once. Couple of Mirrors is apparently really good. And I think even that is on my After Dark schedule. But I'll probably get to that after I do the other things. Because they're so highly anticipated by me. Revolutionary Girl Utena. Yes, you should watch that anime. If you're going to talk about girls' love, yes, you should watch that anime. Even all the way through to the crazy-ass fucking movie that makes no sense, but is sapphic as hell. Even then. I don't know, what is the wife doing? Deer in headlights.
Did someone ask what I was doing?
Yeah, Lila, other than the girls' love thing that's happening in Bad Buddy right now, which you should also look at because it hasn't even finished airing yet, but they're already cute as fuck. The girls in Bad Buddy are so cute. There's even a height difference. It's great. No, Anji, we're just getting ready to do The Wife Talks About the Untamed. So you're actually right on time. I have no idea what she's doing back there, but one of these minutes. What are you doing?
I told you I was almost finished with my sweater.
Oh, you're finishing it before you come up here. Okay.
No, I'm not gonna finish. I have to, but I was just working on it until you were ready for me.
No, you can pull over the thing and figure out the stuff whenever you want.
Figure out the stuff.
You can make your grand entrance whenever you want, baby.
Wow. No. All right. Well, I need to be able to. You have to change the screen so I can see myself a little bit.
Yeah. No, we'll get that.
It's weird.
Because
I don't know if I'm on screen.
The BL you mentioned, Jinx, Sunset, etc., I am writing down. Because I have not heard about that one. The Handmaiden is so good. It's one of the best movies, period. But, like, oh my god, it's so good. Especially from a girl's love standpoint. Okay, oh, if you would be willing to get me some more water, that would be fantastic. Because I've been here for 2 hours, apparently.
You have?
I have.
Do they ask them if they want to see what I was working on?
She's working on.
No, don't tell them. Ask them if they want to see.
No, but I gotta tell because then they'll be like, "Let me see it."
No, because someone will be like, "Ah, recognize it." Trust me.
The wife has been crocheting a sweater for herself. That is from a specific. It's not gay related, but it's from a specific animated film, and I feel like this is a foregone conclusion. But would you guys? It's almost done. Do you guys want to see it? I actually haven't seen it since she started putting the thing on. Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Oh, you're bringing this. You need to. It's short though.
I'm getting my booster.
Oh, okay. You're getting the thing. I'm like, you're already short. You can't sit in a short chair.
I am of average height.
Average height.
I am. Anyway, do they want to see the thing?
They're screaming at me. Yes. Where is the thing?
Okay, hang on. It's coming.
You're gonna sit on that?
Yeah, that's what I sat on last time. Why do you keep asking me this?
Okay.
Also,
I mean,
so I can see
does
when
not look
it's
comfy.
in actual
Oh, right. Yeah.
frame.
No. Let me get you over here. Okay.
And move yourself out the way, I guess.
Yeah. Remember, we're at a delay, so hang on. We are talking some Emperor's New Groove
There we go.
sweater.
Yes.
That honestly, that llama came out so well. That is such a llama.
No touchy. Yes, thank you. Whoever gets it.
Thank you.
And so I've got cuffs, and the bottom is all the light green to go with the color scheme. And the only thing I have left to do is to sew this on. It's just on with pins right now. But then I'm gonna sew it on, and I'll probably make a matching hat.
That's such a good llama.
And then I'll be thank you, whoever loves my llama. I did the llama just freehand. I had a picture from the movie, and I was like, this is close enough. So,
I mean, I can't get over how good the llama is.
I'm very excited. It has
such
a
a
little
good llama.
pocket. I don't know if y'all can see the pocket.
Yeah, for the hands. Yeah,
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
It's coming. There it is.
Yeah.
Woo. So, anyway. I was just excited about that, so I wanted to show you.
I mean, you should be. You've been working on this sweater
Yes.
for a hot second.
Yes. I think I'm close enough. I'm sorry about all the moving.
I can't get any closer to the. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but see,
I was like, can't see you. There you are.
Yes, Jessica, you must have pockets.
Okay.
Where are you going? I need to see.
Oh, that's right. You have to see, but I can't, and that's because now okay, I'll do my best to ignore
Plus, we
it.
still have to see their chat.
No, yeah, that's why I pull it over here so that I don't
Wow.
have to look at myself, but I can see them talking.
Well, just don't look at yourself. Look at the chat.
Yeah, but I'm ADD. That usually doesn't work very well.
It doesn't. I mean,
It
you
don't.
can leave and I can talk to them about the Untamed.
Wow. Kick me out of my own stream.
They like me.
Anyway, I mean, of course they do.
Hi, Petra. It's nice to see you too.
But anyway, so you finished the Untamed before my break even started, so it's been a couple of weeks now, right?
Yeah, it's only been like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks since I finished.
And we talked about it at the time, but I feel like you can never really stop talking about the Untamed. Because there's just so freaking much. And I fell down on the job because you started watching it in such spurts that I fell down on the job in terms of updating patrons as to how your rewatch was going. So, like, as far as they knew, you hadn't even gotten to the end of the flashback yet. Now it's like, you're done.
Dana has started out with the tough questions. Thanks, Dana. Appreciate
that. Yeah. You know, that casual question of what did you think of Meng Yao? And, I mean, obviously, Untamed discussion, full of spoilers. If you have not finished the show, you should probably leave.
Yes, if you haven't, please don't watch this. Because I'm going to be
probably
talking
shouldn't be here
about everything.
But I feel like that kind of goes without saying. So, yeah.
And
What
Rast.
do you think? What do you think of Meng Yao?
Rast also asking the easy question, Shu Yang Yang or nay.
Yeah.
Okay, first, Meng Yao left me with a lot of feelings, especially with Shi Chen and Meng Yao. Shi Yao left me with a lot of feelings, and they're all conflicting, so that's fun. Yeah, I don't know what to say about him other than I love him, and I feel really devastated with what happened.
It's really hard not to feel like... I mean, I guess there are people who would just hate Meng Yao.
True.
And, like, I could obviously, like, I could understand why. Like...
But I'm with Dana. He's just a tragic character. He's kind of evil, but he's also tragic, so I'm just
And the show
there.
is really good at having everybody be fucking tragic, as opposed to just straight up evil. Except, of course, for Meng Yao's dad, but we won't talk about him.
No, because then I won't get to talk again. Brittany will just be ranting.
No.
But yes, I do love Shi Yao. I really want so many happy endings for them. I'm currently wading through a bunch of fic. But in case anybody doesn't know me, I am a multi-shipper also. I'm not like an OTP type person. I love everyone equally. And so I definitely am reading like fics for every kind of pairing imaginable. But definitely looking at, if I see Shi Yao, I check it out immediately to see what's happening. So, I love them forever, but I also hate it. It's just, boy.
I know.
It's rough, but like I just can't even talk about it too much because I'll just be like, ah.
I know, you love them, but then you also deeply want an AU in which they, like, basically almost none of it happens.
And also,
I want the AU of, Shi Chen finding Meng Yao early enough to, avert disaster.
And Chrissy, I totally understand. You get his past, but you still hate him. I feel that too.
Yeah.
While also loving him. Like I said, very conflicted emotions.
It's totally valid. I feel like it's really hard to have invalid feelings about Meng Yao. I feel like whatever you feel is like...
Well, that's true, Lola. If you want to kind of make the distinction between Meng Yao and Jin Guangyao, they can be two different personas and sides that he showed people because he was a master manipulator. And that's probably why I still refer to him as Meng Yao all the time. I'd never refer to him as Jin Guangyao because I want to pretend he doesn't exist.
I feel like it's all Meng Yao.
Yeah. Petra's like,
in a
multi-shipper. Yes. I'm there.
Yeah.
Okay, there was a couple other things. Shu Young, again, you can't really be like yay or nay. I'm definitely kind of on the nay side because boy is just like straight up crazy evil. And he did a lot of crazy things, but that whole flashback with Yi City and with Xiao Xingchen, and I was just like, wait, what? And again, it gave me like very much smaller conflicting feelings. With Meng Yao, I have much more bigger conflicting feelings. I do, shut up. Shu Yang, though, I have smaller conflicting feelings, but I do still have some because, I don't know, for like one brief moment, he became human, and I was like, oh, it's like you could have just kept him this massively amazing caricature of evil the whole time, but you had to give him this one moment of humanity. I still, hate him. He was evil, y'all. But he did have, like, a moment of humanity, which I feel is, like, a good reminder to people that evil people are still human, and humans can be evil. Like, it's good that it's not a character, but also it gave me mixed emotions.
And, like, you understood the whole Shu Young thing with the Yi City
quicker than you did.
Quicker than I did on first watch.
Right.
My brain was coming at it from
trying to read comments, y'all.
Such a different place that it was like a train wreck in my head. And of course, I was also filming a reaction at the time, and that affects things. But you even picked up on everything that it was handing out the first time. Much faster than I did. But then I wound up being a bit softer towards Shu Young than you did.
Yeah, because just for me, that one moment of humanity where you regret what you did and you kind of realize what he did, it does not make up for all the stuff that he did. So I'm just kind of like, eh.
But then, at the same time, it was it's so fascinating to watch, like, both of he was trying to have both. He was trying to have his cake and eat it too. He was like, I'll get revenge, but then I'll also somehow wind up, riding off into the sunset with Xing Chen after I kill him. It was watching a delusion, like, unravel that was so unbelievably sad. But then he's done so many unbelievably heinous things. And He's a whole.
I love the back-to-back comments because you've got
thing.
oh crap, my phone's going off. Hang on a minute, yo. It's probably my mother. It is. She usually won't call back, but we'll see. Oh, she's asking me. She found a cute little kitty hoodie. Onesie, like a kitty with a cat head. Listen, she wants to buy it for me. I'm not gonna say no.
I was about to say no. Let her.
Of course.
Wait, I saw someone. Oh, I saw a good way to go.
No, there's like five good questions.
Everybody, everybody needs a great deal of therapy and or meds in this show.
Yeah. No, but I was going to say I liked there was back-to-back comments because Petra was like, Shu Yang, he was insane, but I pitied him. And Lola was like, I love Xiao Xingchen too much to even remotely like Shu Yang. And I'm like,
yeah,
both of those are valid.
Once again, there are so many different and yet equally valid like takes on
so many things.
These situations.
I saw a couple of other questions that I wanted to
Best
ask.
Boy, tell me about Best Boy.
No, well, okay, yeah. I mean,
they're asking about Best Boy. I'm asking about Best Boy.
There's not much more to say about Best Boy except that he is the best boy.
He is the best boy.
I love Sizui. For someone asking me, did I realize? First of all, you need to know that I never really intended to watch this show.
No.
I was bullied into it.
Yes.
By her. By
yes.
y'all. All y'all.
That was going to be one of my questions.
And so I did not even remotely try to stay spoiler free because I was like, why bother? So I had all kinds of stuff coming across my dash on Tumblr and everything. Also, what you need to know about me is that even when I'm not paying attention, my brain like remembers things that I don't really need for it.
She has an extremely good memory.
Right, but sometimes it's annoying. So either shut up. So either I was like vaguely spoiled for Lan Suizi being Ayan.
You knew it was a duckling, but you didn't know who.
Or I knew I don't remember, but in the back of my head, like it was already kind of there. And so then as soon as I saw him and like saw the clues they were giving, I was like, yes. This is my child.
You still cried at the reveal, though.
Everybody cries at the reveal. Who doesn't cry at the reveal?
Yeah.
If you don't cry at the reveal, man.
I was a mess. Well, also because I didn't see it coming literally at all. Not even remotely.
I was a sobbing mess the whole time because, you know, when Ning was talking to, and I was just like, my baby. So, yeah, definitely.
Yan Li.
So I already kind of knew. No,
Yan
hang
Li
on.
feels.
There was something way back, and you won't let me answer it. Shh. Just for a minute.
But there's so many things
I'm trying to get to them. I'm trying, y'all.
There are so many things.
Because someone had a great question, and I'm sorry I don't remember who, because you're long gone now. But someone asked me, did I think that Ni Hosong was like a master manipulator who set up things, or did he just like hope to God it would work and like set dominoes up and just prayed?
That is a good question.
It's a really good question, which is why I've been trying to answer.
I'm going to answer it after you, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So I think... And I did watch the, what was it called with the brothers? The Ni brothers.
I had her watch Fatal Journey.
I watched Fatal Journey, so I had more of his backstory.
Yeah.
With Mingju.
Yeah.
And so, what I think Hosong did is I think that he had a really, really steep learning curve on how to be manipulative. I think he started out, obviously, like just kind of setting up dominoes and praying. But also, this is like 16 years in the making because he has to bring back Wu Shen. So, like, clearly there is some knowledge behind the scenes. And I think he just learned really, really quickly how to do that. But I also think there was a great deal of just desperation and, you know, praying to the gods that this will work because you don't know for sure that you can even bring Wu Shen back. Like, there was a lot of, like, really risks that most really great manipulators don't take huge risks like that. They like to play it a little closer, you know, the chess masters and whatnot. But I think he had enough knowledge and manipulation behind him to make it work, but also, like, enough desperation that he's not, like, the best, greatest chess master manipulator ever. He did luck into it a little bit. But I definitely think he had a steep learning curve. Like, he was so devoted to his brother that the moment he realized that Meng Yao was behind that, it was over for Meng Yao. Like, it was just over. It was just it. So, yeah, kind of a little bit of both. A little bit of luck and a little bit of, like, very much... That, like, was a change. That was, like, a life-changing moment for Hosong. He couldn't afford to be what he was before. He couldn't afford to just be like, oh, so-and-so will take care of it for me. Because guess what? Mingju's not there anymore.
Gone.
He's gone. So he had to change, and I think he did a really good job. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of love Hwasong. I love his vengeance arc. Yes, he did some crazy shit. But I'm still kind of here for it because I feel like
massively
he knew...
hurt my husband, but even I still love...
he hurt my husband.
Yeah.
We're both married to Shi-Chen. So he definitely hurt my husband, but he knew when to walk away from it. He didn't let it get the best of him, in my opinion.
That's all he wanted to do. Right. He did it, and now he's done.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And I was also... Actually, no, wait. I'm not going to talk about that. Because I plan on doing a kind of the Untamed 1 year later sort of a retrospective to see how my feelings about how a bunch of things about the show have changed or not, since it's coming up on a year since my reaction to the Untamed ended. So I was going to talk a lot about how I feel about Hwasong, but now I'm kind of not because I'm saving it for the video. Although I will say that I think it's more like he was 75%, good meticulous planning and like 25% improv. I don't think he was entirely as like meticulous and layered as Meng Yao, obviously, but I feel like he really, really rose to the occasion and surprised especially himself in his own capacity.
Yeah.
Favorite siblings?
Well, no, hang on. I'm going back through and like looking at stuff. Just things that I can answer quickly also before we have another big one. Yeah. Things like, did I notice that Wushen like let go of Wang Ji to save because he saw the cliff cracking? I don't even know if they showed it in like episode 1 and 2, but like when you get to it in 33 or whatever. Yeah, because I saw his eyes and he looked at the cliff and then his eyes went real wide and then he like flew and I was like,
he like flings his hand.
Yeah, he flings himself off. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I did catch that. I tend to catch a lot of things, but I will admit that I didn't catch Hwasong. I think that's why I love him so much, because honestly, not too many things, in media, in fiction, real life's a different story, but not too many things catch me out plot-wise. I'm really good at picking up on clues and detecting plot things, but I didn't see Hwasong, which is part of the reason why I love it so much. I did see him throw himself off the cliff. There was something else someone asked me. Opinions on Wen Qing. She's gorgeous and beautiful and amazing, and I love her. She deserved better. Yeah. Oh. Most people in this show deserved better, y'all.
I feel like the one thing that the show granted you in terms of, we're going to break your heart and then stomp on it a million times, the one thing that they gave us is like, we're not going to make you watch Qing die.
That's true.
And we're like not going to show like her burned fucking corpse or anything like that. They spared us one thing.
It was very nice.
And it was Qing's body. One thing. And I'm very grateful for that one thing.
Someone asked me about Jinling. Again, when he breaks down on the dock holding his father's sword and looking at the ghost general who killed his father, not of his own volition, but still. I mean, I was sobbing. I was sobbing for Jinling. It was just, I was like, oh no, my baby. Yeah, he's a bit of a brat, especially when you first meet him. He's a brat. But I loved all the juniors, all the little ducklings, as everybody calls them. I think they were actually, considering that they are not main characters or even remotely main characters, they were pretty well fleshed out. And you get a lot of Jinling's reactions when all the shit's going down with his uncle and, well, uncles and all the people he's related to. But especially Meng Yao, obviously. Oh, gosh, my cat.
Just keeping it out.
You get to see a lot of Jinling's expressions and reactions, and definitely, my heart goes out to that poor boy. That was just a lot of crap. Mad Hatter says I'm the detective in the family. I guess so. There was a few others. There's just like a favorite sibling relationship. Yeah. There's a couple of other questions about.
Because God knows I can't choose.
Yan Li and stuff like that. You can't choose.
How do you choose between the twin Janes and the Young Meng siblings? Tell me how. Tell me how. Tell me how. You're wrong.
Okay. Again, since I am a multi-shipper and a multi-character lover, it is always really hard for me to choose between 2 or 3 things, because I just love everybody and I love all of the things. But the way that you choose between those two things is that you go with option 3, and I'm gonna choose Wenqing and Wenning. Because...
Yeah, see? How do you choose between... No. There's no answer to this question.
There's not, but if you
There's
force me
no
to choose...
answer.
I'm looking at it as not characters, but the actual sibling relationship.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so the kind of, I love Chung. I want to preface this by saying, or Jeng Chung. I want to preface anything that I say in case you guys are like, you hate Jeng Chung. I do not. I do love him.
I love him even more this time around.
However, he's very fucked up, and we love that about him. But he's also a bit of a bully because of it. And I grew up being bullied by an older brother.
Oh, yeah.
So I would like to say record that the relationship between Wuxian and Jeng Chung is never going to be my favorite. It's just not going to happen. Now, Wuxian and Yan Li, it's beautiful. It's the same as Wenqing and Wenning. So I'm just like, I mean, y'all gave me the older sister with the younger brother, and they're like beautiful and taking care of them. And then, of course, they all died. But that's fine.
Yeah. Everybody.
We won't talk about that.
No.
But, yeah, Petra, I know, I'm just jumping around topics from whatever comment I see.
Yeah.
Just deal with it.
There was never going to be any organization.
Go with me. Petra, you said you don't think Hosang wanted to hurt Shichen. I don't think he
No.
wanted to.
I think he saw the opportunity and he took it.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to, but I think he definitely was like, well, I'm sorry for Shichen, but we're going to do this, and he's just going to have to deal with it, so... Win Sibs. Yeah, it sounds like, yes, Win Sibs. Someone has kittens. Maven Cree. You have kittens. Maven. Yay, kittens. Yeah, I love JC, but he definitely does have issues.
I love Chung even more this time around than I did the first time.
No, I love him. That's the thing, is that, almost every character gives you conflicted emotions.
I felt a bit, I mean, I kind of had mixed feelings about him for, different reasons, but I still had, kind of mixed feelings about him by the end of the series, even though I still really liked him and I, really cared about him, obviously. But then, this time around, granted, I'm still, a little over halfway through the rewatch. This time around, I'm my heart has grown even more for Jeng Chung this time around.
Oh, I mean, I feel sorry for him so much. I mean, he's been through some shit. Damn.
Right.
Boy needs therapy, and with a mother like that, I mean, it's just, there's a lot to unpack there.
Him and Wuxian's relationship, when it's good, is just incredible. It's just so amazing.
So I think Jamie was asking about Jeng Chung and Wenqing as a ship.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is, yeah, I was on board, and then, Jeng Chung had to do what he had to do, and Wenqing had to do what she had to do, and I was, totally on Wenqing's side. I was like, yeah, if, brother can't stand up for what's right, or, try to save people from dying for, unjust reasons, then, yeah, I'm not gonna date him either. So, that might be the Gryffindor in me, but here we are.
I don't fault him necessarily for I understand, because this show is really good about making you understand why everybody does what they do.
Yes.
So it's not like I fault him per se, but I do side with Ching, and I'm like, yeah, this is an entirely valid reason to throw that comb back in his face.
Yeah.
It was I'm like, yeah, I can, so, and I think a lot of people in a similar situation would. So
I was definitely on board for that ship, and then the way it went was
and then it just falls apart.
But it
and that's so sad.
But I was happy that she did that.
Yeah.
I would not have wanted her.
It would have gone against her character to do anything else.
Which is why I love Wenqing.
Yeah.
Love my girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did deserve better. Yeah. Anonym. WLW.
Yeah.
Considering the environment they grew up in, it's a wonder how close Wuxian and Jeng Chung even are.
That's one of the things that have made me really love Jeng Chung even more and appreciate their dynamic even more. Is because seeing it all again and how I will go into more detail in that retrospective.
Yeah, it is mostly Madame Yu's fault. How fucked up any of her kids are and their relationships and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Don't underestimate the dad, though.
Don't underestimate the dad. Don't underestimate...
He was not good for them in an entirely different way.
Parental trauma.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's crazy. I know I missed a few questions if you guys want to throw another one at me or two, because I'm not going to scroll all the way back up. Would I consider watching Motozushi? Is that...
It's the animated version.
It's the animated version.
I'm going to go ahead and guess no, but...
How long is it?
I think they just finished season 3. Did it just finish, or was there going to be a season 4? But it's animated, so it's short episodes. So it's like 20-minute episodes. And
Maybe.
like 12 to 13 episodes each season. So not terribly long. Not nearly as long as Untamed.
Possible. You know, you just never know.
Yeah. It did finish at season 3.
Oh, okay.
So we're talking about 4, 8, 12, yeah. So it's like 12 hours of subtitled stuff, but still. Although that does bring me to, you know, now that I basically like browbeat you into watching this series because I knew you would enjoy it so much, you enjoyed it so much, correct? Like, you are now, are you glad that you have watched this series?
Yeah, but like glad in the same way I was glad after my 2nd degree black belt test and the shit was beat out of me.
I mean, it destroyed you.
But I had passed, and so I was like glad that I had passed.
Yeah.
But I wasn't glad that I had been put through 2 hours of torture. So it's kind of like that kind of glad.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, but also, why would you do this to me? Like, why would you break
I've
my
had,
heart so much?
The shit beaten out of me. I'm laying on the floor. I'm crying. I'm sobbing. But no, it was good.
Yeah, kind of sucked, so. Cathartic glad. Kind of? Yeah, kind of like a cathartic glad. I mean, what is my cat going through? I'm sorry,
know.
My cat's having a moment.
Don't worry about it. I'm worrying about it.
But he's having a moment. He might just settle down if I pick him up. He does that. Oh, and for anyone who wants me to watch more, like, subtitled Chinese dramas and whatnot, there will probably be a long break before I ever watch any of those ever again. Just because it's difficult for me to watch subtitled TV shows or movies for a variety of reasons that don't matter. But yeah, after I watched Untamed on Netflix, now Netflix is recommending them all to me, so that's funny. So I might throw one on my list, and it'll be there for like 3 years, and then I might watch it.
I would love for you to watch Word of Honor. I just don't think it's going to happen for the next, like, 3 years. But I would love for you to watch Word of Honor. Word of Honor still destroys you, but not to the thorough extent that the Untamed destroys you. It's generally a better, more lighthearted time, which is funny considering some of the devastation that happens. But
Annika, that's pretty accurate. The LARPing thing. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Like, it was glorious, and now I need to, like, go dissolve into my feelings for a long while. So, yeah, definitely. Bye.
Oh, bye, Kyo.
Kyo. I'm glad she said it first. I'm sure you'll watch the music video. I've watched a couple of fan vids. I'm obviously reading fanfic. That's my preferred method of media interaction, is reading. I like watching things. I love movies and I love TV shows and everything, but I'm much more of a, like, give me some good fic and some good, you know, books or whatever, or comics. So, yeah, I might, someone asked if I want to read the books. I might. She's got the first one, and I read faster, so
I was about to say, when it comes to the book, because she reads pretty damn fast, so 500K for her is not the same thing as 500K for me.
Right, so I might consider reading.
Right, but I would imagine that you would read the books probably before even watching the Donghua, the animated.
Probably I'd read the books before I watch the animated. Yeah.
See,
that's how I roll, y'all.
It'll probably take her about as much time.
Character songs. Too. She's already made me promise to look up and watch or listen to.
I got the soundtrack covered.
The whole soundtrack thing and the lyrics.
Yeah.
All of that. So
I'm like, Fatal Journey is mandatory and the soundtrack is mandatory.
Yeah, I'm gonna do all of that.
Yeah, no, I got that covered.
All right, Misha. I'm glad we're here. Have I considered reacting to show? You, right? Not me.
I'm assuming that was a question for you. Jesse, when you ask, have you considered reacting to Japanese, Korean, Thai BL shows, Was that a question for her or
No,
me?
that's got to be you, because you're the reactor. I don't
I
react.
told you that people were going to like you, Tamaris.
Oh, I
and
know
you just
people
didn't
like
believe
me. Of course I
Ma'am?
did. Okay, first of all,
Ma'am.
I absolutely know that people like me. I like people. It's a thing.
Ma'am.
Shut up. It's not my fault. So, but yeah, as far as, in case that was for me, as far as me doing a reaction video, nah, that's not gonna happen. I love y'all so much, but no.
It's a miracle I get her on these live streams, really.
No, I actually really like the live streams. I really enjoy this, talking to you guys. It's cool.
You're gonna react with me to like Good Omens and Arcane, but you may not even be on camera for that.
That's true. I'll probably be on the couch, like in the corner of your vision, and you'll see me like throw my hands up.
Yeah.
You'll hear me because I get loud when I react to things.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Untamed fic recommendations. I have just started wading in to the massive ocean that is Untamed fics. So, I don't have a lot of recommendations yet. Rast, I love you too. So, I don't have a lot of recommendations yet. I have read a couple of really good ones though. So, when I get some more, we'll figure out some, way to get recommendations to you from
You could post it on your blog and I'll reblog it to the side blog.
Oh yeah, on Tumblr.
Yeah.
That's true. I forget that I can post like my own shit on Tumblr. I just reblog stuff. I don't do my own thing. I do my own thing on Instagram. Oh, someone said something. Where was that? Wushan or Lanzhan?
Lanzhan. Oh yeah, Wushan or Wang Ji. Gee, I wonder what the answer to this question is.
Okay, so I am Wang Ji.
Thank you.
In many ways.
Mm-hmm.
One of which was definitely like, gay panic, gay denial, repression of most emotions, etc., etc. So,
I mean,
we love a good Wang Ji in this house.
This absolutely carries over because she's also a Spock girl and I'm a Kirk girl.
Yes.
But actually, when it comes to the Untamed, for me, like in terms of my love for the characters, Wushan and Wang Ji are extremely close.
I love them so much.
My preference for Wushan is like very, very like slightly. Like if you have to make me choose a favorite, I will choose Wushan. Whereas even though as much as I love Spock to death, my preference for Kirk is pretty
obvious.
Obvious there.
I do also love Wushan. Not to say that I don't love him. I love him so much because he's a little shit and I married one. So
he's a Slytherin with a heart of gold.
He's a Slytherin with a heart of gold, and I married one. I'm just saying. So, it is hard to choose between them, but probably Wang Ji.
Misha, you could also post the any fic recs on Discord, which is true.
Yeah.
And actually, Discord is getting ready to start going into motion. Actually, after this live stream is when I'll be messaging all the patrons back who volunteered to be a mod. And Rast, you volunteered to actually help set everything up, which I'm going to be taking you up on once I message you after this live stream is over. So the Patreon Discord is indeed coming, and you could very much fic rec on there.
I will absolutely. There will be a whole channel. Make a note of this, Rast. There will be a whole channel for fic recs.
Yeah.
For any fandom, really. Because, lots of gay fandoms out there, y'all.
The wife.
Someone would like to see a whole channel for me? No, I want to be on the other channels, doing all the stuff. Anyway. Someone wants to see the book.
Oh, the cover again?
Close. Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame you. It's a fucking gorgeous cover.
Okay, I'm going to try. We're on a delay, so it's really weird trying to get
it in
the right spot, but I think...
You change and then you have to wait 20 seconds or something.
Yeah, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
If you can get this, you should. It is beautiful.
Right. That was a really awkward angle, so I'm going to...
Let me show you. There's
there's some really beautiful
there's more
pages
art in here. They even included fucking art of the wrist grab, wrist grab, the one that changed my life. I'm gonna make sure. Oh, I did that rather beautifully, actually. Yeah, they even have that. It's beautiful. It is so well put together. It is very high quality feeling. Yeah.
It's nice. I will definitely
It's really nice.
Reading that, I'm sure.
It's really excellent. They really did it justice.
Woo.
It's now down Double Flower. You said it was too expensive. It's now gone down to $12 or something. It used to be 18. It's now gone down to 12. I know because I was checking about pre-ordering the next volume the other day. I was like, ooh.
Remember, I have that Amazon gift card.
That's what I was going to use it on.
So we could order a couple of books.
Yeah, Volume 2 comes out in just like a couple of months. Or maybe it's May.
You don't know. Time doesn't exist.
Like I remember anything.
All right. Do you guys have any more questions for me? Or we good?
Yeah. Right.
Let's play Pretend and Live Our Lives by Tassos.
Fic Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I haven't read that one yet. Have I?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you don't need to grab them now because they'll be chat replay.
Me.
So if you want to grab
well,
any
yeah,
fic
you
titles,
can
you can
grab
just look
fic
at the end of the
later.
video. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. They want to know about Discord.
Oh,
That's you.
Wang Xian, is the Patreon Discord only for certain levels of Patreon? Technically, yes, it will be. I'll be introducing a new tier. It's for a $2 tier. So basically, anyone with the $2 tier and up will get Discord access. However, when it's first rolling out, because Discord is something that has been in the works for so long now, as it's first rolling out, every patron, including the $1 tier patrons, will get access to the Discord as it first rolls out. The $2 tier and above will be something that happens later. But because I know that there have been a lot of patrons who have been waiting quite a while, and I didn't want to finally introduce Discord only to price them out of it, that would have been a real dick move.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you are a patron, don't worry. You will get access to the Discord.
Yes.
It'll only be a tier thing.
I have
later
questions.
Woo yee.
Okay, how is life? So it's okay, but on Christmas Day, my gums got really inflamed because I have really bad teeth and like some stuff was happening with them, and it was really super painful, and I couldn't get to the dentist until Monday. So I spent all Christmas weekend in a lot of pain. So that was not great for either of us. And then I went to the dentist and then had like the worst. Okay, wait. First though, the dentist himself, really good guy.
No, yeah, he was great.
He tried his best, but my teeth were not happy and nothing he did was going to make them happy. So I had a really horrible dentist experience.
It was all because of the infection.
And this was last Monday. So now after a week, I am finally healed up pretty good where I can like talk and eat like a somewhat normal person.
Yeah.
And so it's getting better. But for a little while there, life sucked.
Yeah.
just so you know. Man, teeth. They just suck in general.
It was a rough time, but it is better now.
It is better now. Thank goodness. Yeah, teeth problems, man. They are hell. So anyway, I am doing better though. So thank you for asking.
Do you have a favorite arc in the show?
I'm gonna get there. I'm still on Mad Hatter's question because they said, "How's life? How are the cats?"
Oh,
and
yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. The cats are hysterical. They have enjoyed. The company I work for, we are a supplier company, so we do trucking and stuff. So anyway, between Christmas and New Year's, we shut down. So I get like a week vacation. It's 11 days technically, and I only have to use a couple of my PTO days. The rest are covered by the company, which is cool. And I've been home for like a week and a half, so the cats are loving it, and they're gonna be so sad when I go back to work tomorrow because they've just been sleeping on me for
They've
like
been
a week.
piled on you for a week and a half.
Piled on me. If I sit on the couch, they're on me. If I sit on my bed, they're on me.
Which is
hilarious.
Business as usual, but now they've just been able to do it for a week and a half.
24/7.
Yeah.
So I feel bad. The cats are gonna be sad tomorrow, but they're fine. They're great. They're having a good time. What else did Mad Hatter say? They said, "Are you reading any interesting things?" Did I watch anything new recently other than the Untamed?
Other than the Untamed? I don't think.
I feel like I did, other than Arcane, which I second. Please go watch. Go watch that.
Other than
amazing.
Arcane, yeah.
Arcane. I don't know. Probably not anything new. I rewatch things a lot because I generally don't have like the emotional and mental brain space for new things very often. I have to like parse them out. So I rewatch things a lot. So I just finished rewatching The Good Place, which is like one of my favorite shows ever. It is way up there. Oh, we did watch a couple of new Disney movies, Disney and Disney Pixar.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We watched Raya and the Last Dragon, Really cool. Really good.
It was really good.
And we watched Encanto. Really good. Yeah. Really cool. So I recommend both of those.
Raya would be a good recommendation for y'all because, you know, you do get some Sapphic vibes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And they're both really cool.
Yeah.
So, like, that's nice.
Oh, yeah. That was good.
Oh, I'm sorry, Double Flower, that your cat never sleeps on you. I would offer you to borrow my cat. I don't know where you are, but he sleeps a lot on me.
He do. My first cat didn't sleep on me at all either. And then my next cat was an absolute whore.
He is a whore. He's a whore, y'all.
It's really just you have to go looking for a cat that's just gonna whore all over you.
Yes, Petra.
Yeah.
Encanto did hit the feels. But so and any books I'm reading? No, I'm kind of lost in the fanfic right now. And
you're kind of lost in the fanfic always.
I am, but occasionally I pepper in a book. And I do follow a couple of web comics, like she mentioned earlier, Heartstopper, and I follow another one called Mother Lover. Oh, it's cute. Oh, yeah, but yeah, so those things are all cool. Okay, favorite story arc.
Favorite story arc, and then somebody asked about Steric.
I don't even know. I didn't watch Teen Wolf.
Yeah, she doesn't really watch Teen Wolf. She doesn't really know Steric and that whole situation. I don't know anything about
Steric.
I ship it though.
She does. Only thing I know Steric, is that both of the boys are very pretty, so I'm here for that. But yeah, what were we gonna say? Story arc.
Yeah, a favorite arc in the Untamed.
I don't know. I feel like that's a really difficult question.
Mine have shifted around during this rewatch.
During the rewatch?
Yeah. That'll be something I talk about in the retrospective. Yeah. But mine have shifted around, actually.
Oh, that's cool. That's good to know, because if I rewatch, and I probably will.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I do a lot of rewatching, so I'm a big rewatcher. Story arc. Oh, man. I don't know, because there's so many good, like, amazing dramatic moments and stuff. And just, like, ridiculously amazing story arcs. I did really like, if you can like, Yi City, Coffin Town, because of
that's interesting.
It was just really good, and there was a lot of different elements to it. I loved the juniors. I loved, Wushan with the juniors. He's hysterical with them. It is like the cool uncle who shouldn't be in charge but is, and I love that vibe. And then obviously the whole thing with the cultivator husbands and Shu Young, even though I don't like it, I loved it. It was really amazingly, like, dramatically satisfying, and at the same time I wanted to shoot everybody involved. Like, that's how I feel about that. So I feel like I have to say that's kind of one of my top favorites. There's probably a few others I don't remember. Yeah.
I have a question to go, like, even bigger rather than specific arcs. Just generally speaking, flashback or 16 years later?
Ooh, that's a good one.
See, thank you.
Yeah, well, you asked the good questions. Flashback or 16 years later?
Yeah.
I gotta go with 16 years later. I'm gonna say I enjoyed watching Wang Ji be super gay for Rochette.
Wang Ji being like, fuck everybody else, I respect you.
He was
and I'm not gonna do my man dirty again. No, that's a great vibe.
No, the flashback hits so hard, and I mean, I'm here for it. But also, like, I don't know, there was something really good about 16 years later. It was just, everything happened so much. Like, it was really good. And yeah, Mature Lanjan is beautiful. They're all so beautiful. That is also unfair.
It's so funny how you can even watch, like, 40 out of the 50 episodes, but then still be like, in retrospect, still be like, I still didn't know anything.
I know.
Like, she'd be like, I got into the early 40s now, and I'm in my head, I'm like, that's great. You still don't know anything, my sweet summer child.
No, it's true. It's true.
It's so funny how that show is.
It's ridiculous, because it's like...
Yeah.
I think that's probably why I would have to pick the 16 years later, just because, like, yeah, the flashback, I mean, you have to have it, duh.
Yeah.
But the 16 years later is like the meat.
That's an interesting way to put it.
It's like
I'm
the meat
still
of the
in
meat.
my rewatch. I'm still in, like, right smack dead in between the flashback and 16 years later, so I can't really speak to 16 years later again.
Yeah, so the ages thing, Ice Dragon, which is the coolest URL. Anyway, get distracted by Ice Dragon.
No, that is good.
No, that's cool.
That's really good.
The thing about the ages and knowing how old they are at things is that I have to, like, tell myself that, because obviously the actors do not look 15 or 16 or however old they're supposed to be in the flashbacks. And so it is very disheartening. It is very like upsetting and shocking when you find out how young they are. Yeah, service top Wang Ji is always good.
He is the greatest service top. I say this so many times to you. He's the best service top in all of fiction. You will not get a better service top
says it so much.
than Wang Ji. You just don't. He's the greatest. He is the best. I will die on that hill.
It's pretty cool. I do like the 16 years later Wang Ji, because he's just like, no, I watched the love of my life die, and somehow he is miraculously back, and nothing else matters.
No,
and I'm really here for that vibe. Oh, which sect has the best aesthetic and vibe?
I mean, this is a really obvious answer for me.
For you, do you like the Wens because all the red and black? No, who do you like? I don't know.
Lotus Pier, my beloved. Oh, Jesus Christ, that is the most beautiful place I have ever seen.
I was thinking more of the clothes when they said aesthetic, but yeah, I guess the actual landscape plays a factor. I'd probably be torn between the Jang clan and the Lan clan. I love Cloud Recesses and the waterfalls
Cloud
and the
Recesses
mountains.
is, a close second. I mean, yeah, I just have a soft spot for Cloud Recesses.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. In terms of if you're just going to go, like, robe specific, probably Lan clan.
Yeah, their robes are really pretty.
I mean, oof.
But I would pretty much end up wearing, like, something I would wear would be, like, Wu Shan's wardrobe, because I love black.
Yeah.
And I do like red, so, like, those are my two colors that I wear a lot, so,
But also, the Unclean Realm is really pretty for its more kind of, like, simple approach to things.
The knee robes are cool. That black and silver is pretty
cool. Oh, the knee robes are cool.
Yeah, they're all gorgeous.
That's the thing. What the fuck is with the costume? The costumes in this show. God, everything is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen.
It is. It's all gorgeous.
Although the best place is still Lotus Pier. You cannot get any. You just can't.
Oh, Rast has to leave.
Oh, Rast is going?
Yeah, Rast is modding the Discord, not setting it up. Someone else has to set it up.
Oh, okay.
Just so we know that we still need someone to set it up.
I misinterpreted your response then.
That's okay. Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah.
We'll catch you later, Rast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, are you done?
I mean, I'm done unless they want to ask me more shit. Like, I'm good to...
Dana, did I see your message on Patreon? I don't know if you sent it today.
Probably not.
Or last night. Probably not. But I am going to go. I am poking Patreon after this. Oh, Lotus Pier or Four Seasons Manor? Four Seasons Manor is from Word of Honor.
Alright.
Probably Lotus Pier, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the Untamed is so fucking next level in terms of their set design, etc., etc.
Eggy thing, that's so funny. Eggy's like, the costumes kept me watching while I was really confused. The first couple episodes.
It's the pretty costumes and the pretty people. Where you're like, I don't know what's going on, but every single person is more beautiful than the last. And it's ditto costumes. Ditto costumes.
What do I think
ditto
of
sets.
The ending?
Oh, yeah.
I'm fine with it. Like, I liked it. It's a good ending. The main guys are alive and happy, and like, that's pretty good for this show. So,
yeah.
I feel I was sad because I looked at a few other things. Like, obviously in the fics, people expand more on what is told in the book versus maybe what was in the show. So I know that after that all goes down, after the temple, Shi-Chen goes into seclusion, and that's one of the main reasons that Wang Ji becomes the chief cultivator and has to run the Lan clan, which is why he's not off wandering the wilds with Wu Shen. And I was like, cool, that makes sense. But yeah, I'm okay with most of the ending. What?
Misha, I see you.
Oh, Misha?
I see you. You in the wastes. I see you. Just so you know, look at me. I see you.
Y'all are so
okay?
Stupid. Oof. Oh, Mian Mian, we stand Mian
Mian.
In this house, we love Mian Mian in this house.
I love that they brought her back.
I love
the end.
When I saw
love that we got to see her again.
I was like, my girl. Yes.
I was so happy we got to see her again.
Love her.
She deserved it.
Yes, I knew that there was another time skip. Well, Brittany watched, she's so weird. She's like, I want to watch you watch the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So I watched, through 48, like, on my own. And then when we got to 49 and 50, she watched them with me.
Also, I wanted to rewatch the last 2 episodes before I started all the way over again, because then I could remind myself of the full context going into the rewatch. But I also wanted to see her react to 49 and 50.
And so she told me, she made sure I knew that there was a time skip. And I was like, yeah, okay, I can see that. I was like, I get it. They're walking away. They walk back. I figured they didn't come right back. I mean, you don't do a U-turn on the top of a mountain. So,
I was so beside myself watching the finale that I thought that there wasn't a time skip, and they were literally just like had this big gay goodbye and then just turned right around. That's how I thought, because they do it really quickly. Oh, and I was already in a whole ass bottle of wine at that point. So.
Do you guys want to know something funny though? Because she was watching 49 and 50 with me. Whenever the reveal is that, Hwasong is behind it, I think it was like after 49 or something, I was like very calm and like not reacting.
She had a non-reaction.
And she looks at me and she's like,
over like,
did you catch that? Did you understand? And I said, and I just looked at her and I was like, yes, I understand. But this show has done so much shit to me that I am no longer shocked that Hwasong, my son, is the great evil manipulator. Like, well, not evil because he's trying to kill evil, but you know what I mean. I was like, no. So I just had like a no reaction, which she thought was hysterical. Because it was really funny. By episode 49, you're like way too far into it. I was way too far into it to be shocked by anything anymore.
Which is hilarious.
I was just not shocked.
Because I clearly wasn't.
No, but sweetheart.
I fell out my chair.
You will
practically
show emotion for anything all the time. Like there is no top saturation point for her, but I get to a point where there's just no more emotion. There's too much. It's over. I had a Wang Ji reaction, which explains a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody was up there asking her. Oh. Or just making a good comment. Annika. Mm-hmm. Still hoping for a future reunion between Zhang Chang and Wei Wuxian. Yeah, I kind of figure that's where Wuxian went, as he was kind of walking the earth for that undetermined amount of time when he and Wang Ji parted ways there at the end. I kind of naturally, because they were working their way back towards each other across this massive fucking divide. And I just kind of figure at some point Wuxian stopped by Lotus Pier and they either took another gigantic step towards that or they actually got there this time. That's one of the things that I understand why it wasn't included, but I personally would have liked to see them elaborate on. Like, if you had 51 episodes, you could have... You could have covered some of what Wuxian did during that time,
Raven Zero. I was caught up over some gosh darn soup. That's funny.
She didn't get emotionally attached to the soup. What is that? I don't understand. I'm sobbing. I'm looking up recipes for this soup. I'm sobbing over this fucking soup. And she's like, yeah, whatever.
No, I didn't say whatever. Did I? I don't remember what I said, but I didn't say whatever. I said, yeah, I like the soup. I'm not, like, emotionally attached to the soup. Sorry.
How do you not get emotionally attached? I don't understand.
Anyway, Ice Dragon said that MXTX originally planned to kill Jinling in the original story.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that. And
I hadn't heard that
but changed her mind. And I don't know. I guess what I think about it and how it would have changed the narrative depends on when and how and who killed him. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like, if it happened at the very end, I would be like, okay, gratuitous and not necessary.
It's like, okay, why?
Let the boy live,
Yeah.
If it had happened earlier and it affected the rest of the plot in some grand way, then I would be really mad.
Which is probably how it would have gone down.
I would have been really mad, but I also would have been like, oh, but you're still right, and that makes me mad.
Yeah. Because that's the one of the many infuriating things about MXTX is that, you can't, or at least I haven't found a reason anyway, to really argue against any of the character deaths. Because they are all narratively sound, in my opinion. At least as far as the Untamed goes. I don't know, obviously, I don't know yet about, the original novel and how it plays out. But in terms of the Untamed, I can't really argue. So I think if she had killed him, she would have done it in a way that would have made an infuriating amount of sense. Dana, I've seen number 6. It was indeed good. That is a good recommendation. I second that recommendation.
no. That's funny. Jinling strangled by his own spirit catching net. So sad. Don't do that to my boy. Yeah, I would have loved for Wenqing to still be alive. That would have been great. But they did save Yuan, so...
They did.
They could have hurt me worse, I guess. Because, I mean, he was like 3. Like, don't do that to the babies.
Ooh, that's a good question. Skelly, when do you think Lang Wangji started composing the song? So, Wenqing, the song.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just elaborating for everybody's sake, not, just yours.
I don't remember when he first played it.
It first gets played. I literally
just watched it. So
he first plays it in the cave. It's after Wuxian gets hurt, saving Wang Ji's life.
Episode
Basically,
was that?
they
How
save
long?
each other's life.
It's
like episode 14.
So they haven't even known each other that long.
They hadn't known each other too
6 months?
terribly long. Yeah, because they had already done the studying of the Cloud Recesses, so they've known each other for at least 6 months.
All right.
And so like he had it to just bust out.
Okay, question.
In the cave.
Question. The lantern with the rabbits, did that happen before the cave?
Yes. You've already done the lantern thing. That's a good answer.
Composing the song after Wuxian made him a lantern that had a rabbit on it, and then after he heard Wuxian's, because we've all seen Wang Ji's, God, I love this sweet man who has a heart of gold and wants to live with no regrets.
I am no longer morally complicated about liking this guy.
Changed so much, and I was just like, also, how do you do that when you don't have any expression? But
I know!
That's another story.
Fuck Wang Yibo.
I'm thinking he started composing that song after the lantern. Yes, Annika. Yes, we were on the same wavelength. Or Annika.
That is, as far as I'm concerned, the correct answer.
Yeah, Meandering Ablaze. He had to do something while watching Wei Ying copy lines for days on end. Yeah, he's just sitting up there composing, just having a good time.
Another good point.
So yeah, yes. I'm here for that. Skelly, thank you, Skelly. Good question. Yeah, I did kind of scream the first time Wang Ji smiled about the bunny when his it just like such a small smile. I
know. I just could not believe we got an actual smile over the bunny. I almost.
So
oh my
cute.
God.
Oh, I love that.
Amazing.
Most relatable.
Most relatable.
I don't know.
Again.
No, I mean maybe Wang Ji, but I don't know. There's also something that I relate to a lot about Wenqing, which is why I love her so much, because the things that she will do to protect the people she loves. That speaks to me on a spiritual level. Mm-hmm. I will absolutely go to hell and back. Like, I will be Wuxian for people I love and to protect them. And the things that she did trying to save Wenning, I really relate to Wenqing a lot. Obviously, I relate to Wang Ji, but...
I really do relate to Wuxian in a lot of ways that I'll talk.
You do.
I'll talk about it in the, retrospective thing, but I really do relate to Wuxian for, like, many reasons. Yeah.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. That's probably the one. I mean, I'm sure there are little things I have in common with other characters.
Yeah.
But in terms of the most prominent, it's actually definitely Wuxian.
I was going to say, I'm sure there are other characters, but definitely Wenqing and Wang Ji are the two that pop into my head first.
Mm-hmm.
Who I relate to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the scene in the rain. I mean...
Yeah.
Amazing. Heartbreaking. I don't know, just amazing. Really.
I feel like that's the moment that Wang Ji, I feel like, regrets the most.
You think he regrets not going with him?
I think he regrets not going. He's like, I should have gone with him. I should have been by his side.
He does say that later.
The entire time. Yeah,
he does say that later. That
he's like, I should have. Yeah. So I think for 16 years he's been like, I should have fucking gone with him. We all know, just in general, he was like, I should have supported him way more. I should have gotten on board with him a lot sooner and committed to it a lot sooner.
Stop him. So like,
instead of like, it's not, the term isn't hedging your bets, but that's the closest I can get at this moment. It's so like, I won't stop you.
Yeah.
But I won't join you either.
Yeah.
I think he was wishing he had made a firmer decision.
Actual choice instead of just
remaining
neutral.
Yeah.
Because remaining neutral, you're always on the losing side.
I should have fucking gone with him. So I think that moment lives rent free in Wang Ji's head for 16 years.
It's so good though.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wenning is the most perfect boy, and he doesn't get enough credit. And also, he never did anything wrong.
There's so few characters in this show who genuinely never did anything wrong.
There are so few characters.
And he is fucking one of them.
He is one of the characters that never did anything wrong.
Never did a goddamn thing wrong.
And then there he is, out there living his best undead life. And I'm just like, why y'all do that to my boy?
I was so happy he got to live. I could have sworn they were like, and now it's time to let him rest, or let him move on, or whatever. But no, he gets to run around with Best Boy.
Yes, Misha, Wending in his little hat selling radishes.
Yes!
And turnips or whatever they were. Oh my god. It's the cutest. I love Wending. I love him so much. He was amazing, and that actor was amazing. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Bye, Mad Hatter.
Oh, bye, Mad Hatter.
I'm sorry your head hurts.
There was at least one person in this cast who this was their first time acting in something.
Wow, that's cool.
But I can't remember who it is, though. Shit. For some reason, I want to say it was Meng Yao, but I think that's wrong.
I have no idea.
I think that's wrong.
Obviously. Woo! Oh! Booty's starting to hurt.
Listen, the grass monster was indeed iconic.
Grass monster was cool.
I mean, fearsome it was.
Who's you been?
I don't know. I can't.
No, we're all just like, this is my character. This is my.
Yes,
character.
this is my. Which? Yes, please.
Which, of course, I love everybody.
I was like, it better not be Meng Yao to be the first acting gig. And I'd be like, I know, right? But I swear, for some reason, I think it was the guy who played Meng Yao was his first gig.
Oh my god, the Lotus Pond that Jinsu. Oh god, how do I say that?
Zishuan?
Say it again.
Zishuan. This is why I called him Rich Guy the whole time.
Jin Zishuan, built for Yan Li. That was the sweetest moment. He was so cute and awkward. It was so cute. It was almost as good as the moment where he confessed his feelings and then ran.
Oh god, I know, that poor boy.
Can
you imagine? I mean, having that guy for a father and then trying to not be an asshole.
I mean, he did a good job.
He did a great. We don't give him. I think I said this in the live blog.
Did.
We don't give him enough credit
for not being a complete.
For being the type of good ass man that he was. I mean, he a little confused, but he got the spirit in the beginning. But for being the man that he was with the father that he had, we do not give him enough credit.
I know. I do feel like you definitely don't like him up until he starts, getting his head out of his ass and doing a couple of nice things.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, oh.
And you realize he's just an emotionally constipated 16-year-old with a terrible father.
Yes. Yeah. And then you're like, I'm going to cut you some slack for that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, he was a jerk, but he was also, way less of a jerk than he could have been. And also then he had to go and be so sweet and romantic, and I was like, that's adorable.
I know, I forgot that he was actually building her a whole ass pond.
Yeah, Eggy, that's true. He didn't even really confess. He just, kind of implied that he was confessing because he said his mom didn't invite her.
He's like, he was basically like, I don't dislike you. And then he ran.
Disaster. He's an absolute disaster.
Amazing.
Amazing disaster. But I do, I like him. I loved that moment when he was trying to hide the lotus behind his back. Like, what? You are so cute. It was so cute.
Trying to remember the specific moment where I was really like, okay, I get the whole Zishuan thing, and I get where they're going. I'm trying to remember that.
Yeah. Also, imagine having Jin Zishun being your primary peer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy can die in a fire.
Ugh.
I guess he kind of did.
You will remember Wang Ji and Shi Chen's parents' story more than I do, because I haven't rewatched it yet. So I know it's something. They come upon the whole falling in love for a disaster thing, honestly, and that's basically all I remember because it's been a year. Yeah,
it was I don't remember everything. I just remember that essentially, their mother was considered. I honestly don't remember why, but it was considered not righteous. I mean, it's also the Lan clan, so to be righteous, you gotta do a lot of shit. And she was evil or cultivating evil or something, she wasn't on the right path or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but he loved her, and he put her in this house, and they were pretty vague. And, he was devoted, even though she might have been she might have been an actual human with flaws. And for that, they want him to not love her. And I'm like, listen, I love their father so much now, knowing that he loved an actual human. Like, good for him. And, yeah, I think she might have killed someone, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that might have been in there. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But...
Although it did, and it really reminded me, though, of, like, you know, they put...
she killed a teacher.
Took the mom, it's like, took the mom and, like, put her in a house. Totally reminded me of what Wang Ji tried to do. And when telling Shi-Chen, he was like, I'd like to bring someone back to the cloud recesses and hide them.
Yeah.
And then you find out and you're like, wow, you really are your dad, aren't you?
Yeah, that's
like the one thing I remember from this.
Yeah, but we don't know why she killed him, and that's why I was like,
yeah,
you know, we don't know why, so I'm not gonna just condemn her out of hand.
Yeah. And
he fell for her first, and then you know, there was a whole shitload of stuff happening. I think the story about their dad and their mom, I didn't care about their story so much as I cared about how it affected Shi-Chen and Wang Ji. Yeah. I cared more about, you know, 8-year-old Wang Ji or whatever sitting in the snow waiting for the door to open and it's never going to open. That was mean. Oh. So, you know, yeah, they could have not done that to my baby, but it explains a lot. So I was like, damn, y'all hit a lot of good character in that one little story. So yeah, there was a lot. Mm-hmm. There was a lot happening there. Mm-hmm.
It was like a lot to unpack.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I agree with Maven Curry. Obviously Wang Ji wasn't gonna keep Wu Shen there against his will.
Yeah.
But he had the same idea at first, like, maybe we could just hide you. That's all we meant.
Yeah,
we didn't mean he was gonna, like, force him to be there. No, he let him go roam and have a good day, you know, have a good life. Yeah, so he definitely wasn't like his dad in that way.
Yeah, because that was around the time that shit was really starting to build around Wu Shen.
Yeah, and Shi-Chen is the one who falls for an evil person. We were talking about that, and we were like, both of the boys fall for someone who everyone says is evil, and, you know, one of them actually is. Yeah. And it's like, kind of came by it honestly.
And Wu Shen and Meng Yao are, like, such amazing foils for each other. And, like, because the whole point is that you cannot, of the Untamed, is that you cannot judge a person's moral compass by their outward appearance and outward behavior.
Shi-Chen says
because,
that.
Yeah.
Like, he lays it out.
Meng Yao is the one who looks totally innocent and is actually fucking evil, and Wu Shen is the one that looks evil but is actually innocent. And so they make that, and having these two brothers fall for the fourth is just like a genius part of the show. And I can't believe that Shi Yao isn't in the book. I cannot believe.
Yeah, that seems crazy.
I cannot believe. At the very least, not to the same, even remotely the same degree.
Yeah.
From what I understand, Xiao is not a thing in the book. And I don't understand how that could be possible. I'm open to how it could be possible, because I'm reading the book. But are you done sitting in that chair?
Yes.
Would you like to say goodbye to the people?
I would love to say goodbye to the people.
Okay, you can say goodbye, and then I'll say goodbye.
All of the people who are still here.
Once you finally get up.
You're so silly. So yeah, thank you guys for asking me all the questions about the Untamed. I've definitely been flailing at Brittany about it, so it's nice to flail at you guys about it. It does give you all the feelings, and I hate you all for making me watch it. So thank you so much for making me watch it. That is how that goes with the Untamed. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys again soon whenever we do things. Yeah. And especially once the Discord gets up and going, I'll be there probably all the time because I love that shit. So yeah. Thank you guys. This was fun. Skelly, thank you for all the cool questions. You guys are awesome. Enjoy the rest of your whatever day of the week it is. Is it Monday? It's Monday.
Oh my god, it is Monday.
Yeah, because I go back to work on a Tuesday, which is weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, standing. I know, I'm about to have a real moment when I stand up here in a second after I say goodbye.
Oh, I'm gonna remove my stuff.
Let me get over here. Oh, that was delightful. I hope that made up for... Part of the reason why I got the idea to actually bring her onto the live stream and talk about the Untamed is because I dropped the ball so heavily in keeping patrons up to date into how her experience of the show was going. So I hope that made up for it. You actually getting to talk to her one-on-one. But yes, this was to date. We're coming up on 3 hours. This is officially the longest live stream we have ever had. And as per usual, because you guys are so delightful and engaging and talk to us so much, it did not feel like 3 hours.
Yeah.
It did not feel like 3 hours at all. It just rocketed by. I cannot believe I still have like the stamina to keep going. But thank you guys so much for watching and being just so lovely as per usual. The patron Discord is rolling along. I hope to get that out as soon as possible with a bunch of lovely mods, and I'm going to try really hard to create kind of the space that we all want it to be. I hope you guys liked all of my recommendations. I hope the whole point of this live stream was that now we all have a nice good list of things to look forward to in this year. Despite whatever other craziness may happen in the world this year, we still have a bunch of gay shit to look forward to. So I hope you have a nice good list. And I may do another video like this in 6 months, like in June, when we'll have actual release dates for the things that are going to come out in the second half of the year. But thank you so much. I don't know when the next live stream is going to be, but I do want to make more of them. And I've got so much stuff coming your way for January and February. It's kind of ridiculous. And I hope you enjoy it. I plan on doing a bunch of new things this year and trying a bunch of new things. And I now feel comfortable enough to kind of put in even more, effort to do some things that I hope you guys enjoy. So thank you for tuning in. If you have been here for the entire 3 hours, you deserve some kind of badge or award or like monetary compensation. So just know that. I give that to you from my heart. Thank you. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for making this stream absolutely incredible. And you guys have a good evening. Go crash. Go eat some dinner. Go watch something gay. And I will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.